of MLBB.
Oh, by good day, do you mean like game 3 days or something like that?
Hey, you know, I really don't mind if we go 3 games at game 3 and 4.
Because we're not part of it.
Well, it's time to get it started here. Your second day of MLBB MSC at EWC 2026 begins right now.
Guys, stream delay छैन अब चाहिँ मैले delay हटाइदिसके. Well, let's go. Delay बिना हेरौँ न. तिमीहरूले पनि अब छिटै हेर्नु हुन्छ. Delay रहेको छैन. Delay 1 सेकेन्ड छ होला. My bad यार, delay अफै गर्न बिर्सिँदै यार. अनि stream मै अफ गर्न मिल्दैन delay. So त्यही भएर नि restream गरेको.
EWC 2026.
Make sure to like the stream, like and subscribe,
There's
and
one
guys,
thing that you love more than long-winded introductions, and that is some good MLBB.
Oh yes, Milosh. Honestly,
Like this
good
stream, guys, like,
MLBB
trust
and
the
long
stream.
games, that is something we all love to witness. So much happens in the Land of Dawn, so much drama unravels. I cannot wait for today, because today we will be witnessing 4 best of 3s in the Group of Death.
Yesterday was quite fast.
Group
I
of
think today
Death.
would not be surprised if we go the distance on more than one game.
Yes, Milosh. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Selangor Red Giants!
आयो SRG 2024 को winner.
This team proceeded to win it all in 2024, making history for Malaysia. Last year, they attempted to defend their title in the grand finals. How will their journey play out this year?
मैले कस्तो सपोर्ट गरेको MSC मा
A lot of
मैले
pressure on their
टिक
shoulders,
स्पिड
I know,
अनि
but we know they've been there
अरू
before. They can do this
टिमलाई
again.
सपोर्ट गरिरहेको छु
No
म.
easy task though against the up-and-comers on the other side. Please welcome Pro Esports. They've
राम्रो गेम
grinded
छ
away
यो.
for season after season of MPL, and the door to
कम्फर्टेबल
greatness
टिम स्ट्रङ
has
छ यार.
finally
यो गेम
opened.
वान साइड त
From
हुँदैन.
aggression and early game dominance to calm composure, their discipline could herald a deep tournament run.
And you know, Milosh, this
अड्केको यार.
regional rivalry dates back all the way to 2024. And throughout it all, SRG has been coming out on top. Will the same happen today?
There's
Let's
gotta
go
be one
guys,
moment,
सबैलाई
one
welcome
inflection
to
moment to
stream.
be the one.
Get
So,
so guys,
boys,
get
you may now
welcome.
place your keys and take your seats. And of course, to our captain, don't forget a little fist bump or a handshake in the middle.
One
Doing
SRG.
it. Oh, walking up for it. Hey. Hey.
There
Okay,
you
let's
have
see.
it. We are ready to kickstart day 2 of the MLBB group stages. Without further ado, it is time to rise above.
Falcons move on this game out with a clean 2-0. There you have it. 2-0 in favor of Team Spirit. And looking for one more in Alice for the triple. Team Vitality will take a little bit of their time, but they'll win the series in a sweep.
So day 1 opened up very impressively. All the teams really showed up. The meta is looking pretty great, but for me, the most intense matchup for day 1 was Vamos going up against Team Falcons Mena. But if I want to narrow it down
डिस्कर्ड बस्छु यही पनि हुन्छ होला गाइस.
even more, it's Arrow 404.
They're going to go for this mid-turret. They know Inferior coming out. Oh, no. With the back line getting attacked already. Zeke is already dead. Throne Ruin is great, but the Blade of Tempest might just be a little bit better. Void dead down. He kicks Arrow 404. There's nothing he can do off that.
What the heck? कति अड्केको मेरो युट्युबमा किन हो?
And now jumping into day 2, this is the group of death. Selangor Giants going up against Pro Esports. I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to see what Selangor Giants is gonna bring, especially Skies, because back in
मैले यहाँको
2024,
text त गरेँ.
Ling was the hero that gave him the title, the Sky Prince. So I want to see if he can bring it back. And
What the fuck? किन यत्रो अड्किरहेको छ मेरो?
whether Pro Esports can fight against it.
To the plane, the assassination bandits.
And whether Pro Esports can fight against it.
To the plane, the assassination bandits and is able to blink out forward. Now in the back, Skies goes for the chase, the assassination on the count of the flicker, following from Yum.
Team Liquid going up against Aura.
कति स्कोरले जित्ला? खै 2-1 हुन्छ सायद SRG. एक त हान्नु पर्ने हो
both
कम्बोडियाले.
organizations have been at it for a very long time, especially for Team Liquid's Philippines. They are, I would say, the trendsetters. We really want to see what kind of meta they want to bring for this MSC. On it going up against Entity 7, that's going to be very, very interesting because Entity 7 actually performed very, very well in their own league, especially Shin going up against Suns. I think that's going to be a very, very strong matchup. Young Galacticos going up against GK Esports. I'm looking looking forward to see if there's gonna be a crazy damaged jungler coming in from Yangon Galacticos.
Backland, the arrow here comes on, they dive back in, the Terrify comes through, first blood for Han.
Because looking at their
Khana
meta,
khayo,
it's really
khana
not
khachha
really
na
the
timarhale
same as
khayo
any
khana.
other team. And then for
मैले खानै खाछु।
DK, I feel like
Hello.
they just gotta prepare for it. Because hey, there's some
सँगै game
Natalia
हेरिदिनु
in the
होला।
room and such, you know, c'est la vie. That's life.
अनि भर्खर स्टार्ट आने ठिकै छैन कुरा बोल त
Hello.
ल
And make sure you guys tune in because day 2 looks to be
Let's
like
go,
a
SRG.
bloodbath.
That handsome man gave us all we need to know. And he's actually
guys.
right here near me as well. SRG
Hello,
versus Pro
2-1
Esports.
prediction.
Coming up, SRG, they have yet to miss
SRG
the
versus Pro
grand
Esports, eh?
finals at MSC at
2-0 नै हान्नु पर्ने हो
The
यार
last 2 years, they have been unstoppable on their path.
मैले खतरा भने
Will
Pro Esports game हेरे
Esports
अब
find a way to throw more than just a rock in the middle of the road? Maybe
Tupi खाएर
an
जाए,
entire wall
तर्सिरहेको
to
थियो।
force them to turn back around.
SRG
and
भने
find
SRG
another
भने त इनोसेन्ट छ है भाइ
Guys, this
कस्तो
is
क्लच
a
हान्छ
big one, of course. And before we jump into the draft, want to let you know that we have 2 champions.
Cambodian
and
champion
1
versus the
game.
Malaysian champion,
Our
eh?
My Champions event is live
भर्खर सुरु भयो
now
केटा
until
भर्खर सुरु
July
भयो
27th. So get your Champions
गर्दै
pick
छ,
now.
James?
Win 50,000 diamonds. My goodness. Again, live now until July 27th. So scan that QR code and get it going.
Brigida, I gotta say, Reindeer has a very soothing voice.
I know.
Very relaxing, very calming. I feel
Late-
like
late
if I'm
कसरी
angry,
भयो
if I
केटा?
listen to that,
Time मा
I'm like,
हेर।
you know what? Life is good.
Hey,
Life is okay.
just when we ended that recap, you told us today is likely going to be a bloodbath. But I heard rain days.
Oh, now I'm feeling
Bloodbath, you say?
Oh, maybe I can calm down a bit.
How about a warm bath?
सामान मिल्ने भने निकाल दिइहाल्नु
Oh, warm bath would be good.
Epsom
sounds
salts.
You know what's nice?
What?
We have bathtubs. Hey,
कसले हान्छ
does
त
it?
केटा एमएससी
Oh, that's
च्याम्पियन है
and
SRG
she's not getting paid either.
Yeah, so
That
you know.
can't
That's
be
just
true.
insult to
Oh, that
injury.
is true.
Oh man.
We can visit her room later just to confirm. But yeah, something that I do want to see if Ling actually gets banned now, because here is one of the dangerous things going up against teams like Selangor Giants when they do have an assassin player, a decorated assassin player like Sakai, is that you kind of have 2 must bans. Number 1 is Fanny. Do not let him get that Fanny.
Yep.
And then kind of don't give him his Ling. It's either ban both of them or have a
आज
very
क्लच
solid
पे
answer for
आयो
both
भने
of them.
इनोसेन्टको बाट आउँछ
Especially
आज
considering
क्लच
that looking at the stage, it's likely they are going to be on home side. So if they do go blue,
Link
we
चाहिँ
saw
ban
this
हुन्छ
trend
सायद
yesterday. We
27 को
kind of had at least 3 or 4 games maybe with a Link Prio in
Yep.
first pick. So it's not impossible to see that happen again here with SRG
fine.
possibly going to blue. But we are going to confirm that in just a bit. Did we get Dangerous Grass?
Yeah, no, we got expanding rivers.
okay.
Yep. I may be colorblind, but I can see the maps. Actually, no, that's not true. Dangerous grass is very difficult for me to see. Anyways, going back into that topic, right? We gotta find answers for the Link.
Opponent
And all
Cambodia
the
को
answer
champion
before
हो
was
guys,
that
राम्रो team हो।
Hayabusa, where it basically becomes a skill matchup between who
Dollar
uses
just
the
reward
ult
time, man.
first. But one of the problems is
43,
ever since
42,
Hayabusa
41,
had that
40,
range nerf
39,
on the quad
38,
shadows, it has
37,
become
36
quite a, like 4th or maybe
Focus
5th
keep it on
trio
top.
in terms of the assassin's pick. And
Yeah,
now
could
we're
have
jumping to the
100%
draft. Here's
won if
Selangor
they
Giants
didn't
first
lose.
pick on the blue side and Pro Esports red side second. Already betting
Why
out
is
the
this loud?
Phobias and for
TR
Pro
what it
Esports
is?
betting
Why
out
is
the
this loud,
Atlas.
The Phobias already says a lot, I feel,
Phobias
about
at
how
the-
much you
Keep
need to
it
pay
at the-
attention to your next 2
Marcel.
bans if you are Pro Esports, considering that they are indeed going to go in blue, and the expanding rivers map is just going to help them so much more in terms
move to
of
Fanny man,
making
okay,
the
Fanny man
rotations
है।
much faster than expected. But they ban out the Fanny themselves. I think this is also great. Coily now, because he added an LY, is also someone I feel like
Hello?
you have to respect when it comes to the jungle and assassin picks. Just the same.
Hello?
But even
Hello?
then, you're going up against the
Oh,
Sky
banana.
Blade, so a lot are
Damn,
still
six
actually
cream upon
gonna
the
be available for Prio. At this point, majority of the
Ah,
fighters
that's
actually,
RG.
the XP laners too are gonna be there in the mid.
सिक्रीमा कनेर बजाज
Something that's fascinating for me is that they
क्लास
landed
पार्टी भन्दै
Zushin.
कनेर बजाज
Sure, Sora is an amazing Zushin player, but doesn't that
SRG
kind of say that
मैले
their
vote
draft
गरिसकेँ
might have a
ML
lot
मा।
of stationary heroes
Yes,
that
SRG
are
भनेको
picked up by the Zushin?
Stream
Because I
off
kind
हो।
of feel like in a very high mobility meta, maybe the Zushin isn't a prio ban,
Or
but
duty.
this might be showing that they're going to have at least 2 steady front lines that just doesn't move a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
And what
Sekai
are the
say
chances that we
Sekai
see,
MSC को
even
फिर form में
Stormy pick up the likes
Link
of a Eudora,
fan में रहे.
right?
Pretty high. I mean, like, he likes to use Odette,
Link
Nana,
ban आउँछ होला यार.
Selena. Like, honestly, he even played a Hellcurt
Combo deck
mid
side,
once,
bro.
and he dominated that game. So I'm pretty sure Stormy can use anything.
See now the third ban for SRG.
Yeah.
Followed up
Oi, Link first
yet
pick
again,
होइन
and the first pick.
First pick
Got to
Link
be
Sekai,
actually
come on.
open.
It is open.
Link वाला fan नि
Eudora
पान्छ.
is also open.
Yeah,
Hirara
that's the
छ नि त तर.
But I gotta say, Brig, I feel
Hirara
like a lot of
छ.
junglers, they have this ego, like, I don't care.
I
You
know.
think
Eudora
you can-
first
you think
pick
you can
तर
stun me?
होइन होला
Hey,
यार
good
Eudora त.
luck.
And we've seen it, the success of Ling. I mean, one of the most picked
Hirara
characters,
versus
but
Fanny
also
हुन्छ यो game.
moments
Fanny
of
Link.
taking over games. Error 4-4, you mentioned yesterday. Can we see that from Sakai?
के दिला
I
त?
think a lot of
Link
people want to see
Hirara.
that. So it's just a question
अरू
of
नि
whether
try
or
गर्छ
not
साइड
we're
मलाई.
confident, but maybe not pro esports.
There's
Oh, the
5 people
first-
who
first-
don't. 6
first
people
pickable
at
case,
least
right?
who do not want to see that.
Yeah, but they're
Link
taking the
Link
time
र
here,
Hirara
Brig. I
त
think they're
दुईटा एउटा
really trying to
दिन्छ.
think whether they want the Ling or give it over to pro esports and encounter it later. I think they
Link Hirara,
can
Blue
because
Valentina.
they pick up the Valentina. So it looks like
Valentina
Slanguard Giants, they're
first
going to the
pickable
first draft here,
Hirara-
trying to
Install
read
up,
pro esports by
Link
having
नि
a
ओपन
very,
दुईटा
I would say,
अस्विन ओपन
flexible
भएर
mid. And
यिनीहरूले
now,
अरू
looks like Pro
लेभल
Esports, they
लान्छ.
got the Ling as well as the Belly.
अब
Very
Hirara liन्छ.
scary opener here.
Insta lock and then Link र Beleric
has a lot
यिनीहरूले
of burst mobility, can go
यिनीहरूले
for the
मलाई
back
के
line,
pretty
and
सुरुमै
then
मलाई
in
रेडी
case
भएर
Slammer
बसिरहेको
Giants
छु.
wants to go for a dive composition,
एसआरजी हल्का रेडी
Beleric
देखेर
can
त भाइ
stop
के हो
it.
जान्छ
So,
क्या हो
I
एसआरजी
wonder
काट्नु.
if Humes will try to use
भाइ
something like
धेरै
the
हो
Joe
है
to
एक गेम
potentially
हार्छ
stop
एसआरजी
the
सिरिज
Ling,
एसआरजी
or
जित्छौ.
they got something else.
Yeah, and apart from that, I feel
2-0
like the
चाहिँ हुने
Valentina is one of the
जाने जस्तो
safer
लाग्छ
mid
Pro
lanes to
Esports
यो
जाने
pick
ग्रुप
up.
चाहिँ
I
ग्रुप अफ
know
डेथ हो है
blind
भाइ यो
pick
चाहिँ.
Valentina,
सबै
not a
राम्रो
lot
टिम
of
यतै
people
छ.
are a fan of it, but now in this meta where the Ling is just an automatic pick
अनि
up, then
कसैलाई
maybe it's
lower
one of the
bracket जानु
safer
मन
options to go for. And considering the Cho that you've mentioned, there could be a chance.
Game
but are they
sound,
willing to
Microsoft
pair it
Discord sound
immediately
सब
with
ठिक छैन
the
केटा.
gold lane pick? It
Hirara
seems like
दियो,
no.
अर्को के
They're
लिन्छ?
gonna go
Moscow.
straight into the Hirara and the gold lane pick instead,
भाइ
revealing
इनोसेन्टको
their
मोस्को
cores
बिहा छ
in
नि
this lineup.
कम्बोडियाको अगेन्स्टमा.
Aurora obviously has been somebody that when you let it go,
Cambodia
you have
against
to
me,
do
right?
it. They knew that they
CFU
were going
like
to get a pick
the-
here. And the Moskov, Lefel, it
तिनीहरू
feels like
आउट
it's been
भइसकेको थियो
rising
नि
in
यार
value a
कस्तो
little bit,
वान
coming in
साइड
that first phase
जितिसकेको
of the picks
थियो
rather than some of the
मस्कोले
last phases.
Definitely,
Break game
especially
important,
because
yeah.
Moskov is one of the rare gold laners that
Oh,
don't need
Esports.
anyone else's help to save himself.
Right.
He has a lot of dashes as well as his second
Delete
ability
China,
able
guys,
to
delete
push
China.
someone away. And if there's a wall, it will get stunned up. So here, I think
Ek
Innocent is
second
just saying,
delay, ek
bring it on.
second.
If you want to chase me, I'll kill you first.
And a question too is if you have a team like maybe Pro Esports who are
Either
aggressive,
eye.
Moskov allows you to push as the Eudora comes in, but also if there's a random aggression, join that team in that fight, right? So a little bit of global safety if they get countered quickly.
I gotta say, this is Innocent on this Moskov is something of nightmare to Cambodia because even back
nightmare
in
है
M6,
Cambodia का लागि
CFU coming from Cambodia almost eliminated Slanguard Giants, but then Innocent with
Masarapp
one
हजुर भन न
very
guys.
good ult, with one SOD, turn things around.
इनोसेन्टले बचाउँछ जस्तो
got a
लाग्छ मलाई
maniac,
तर यो गेम
almost-
कस्तो गाह्रो
and
छ
then
जस्तो
basically
लागिरहेको छ
ended the
इनोसेन्टलाई
game
खेल्न.
then and there. But now we gotta talk about the opening here. It looks like Pro Esports, they're
गाह्रो
opening
त
with
गाह्रै
a
हुन्छ,
very
Beleric छ.
meta MSC draft, right? Bringing the
Hello?
Ling, bringing the Eudora, and
अब
the
हिल्ला
Beleric
मेटा
as
आउँछ
well.
होला यार
Whereas
ट्राई
Slanguard
गरेर
Giants,
यिनीहरू.
I would say even though their first pick, they're being slightly bit more reactive by having an early Valentina to counter whatever they're going to get. They have the Hirara, pretty strong pick right now, and then having the Moskov to say, if you guys want to dive me, I can protect myself. And this is one of the stronger strategies that Slanguard Giants has, where they go for a 4-1
5-second delay compared to
position.
Yako stream,
Where
right?
Innocent, you're all alone. You're not going to get any help.
Yeah.
Good luck.
ठिकै
Everyone
छ
else, do your best.
delay
Which
त
is,
अलिअलि
I
भइहाल्छ
think,
नि
great
कहाँ
because at
perfectly
least Pro
synchronized
Esports
हुँदैन
have a
नि त
link to somehow match
YouTube
whatever
पढे भए
Innocent
मैले त
could
delay
do
एक
across the
second
map,
आएछ obvious.
because I think that's one of the biggest threats that we're looking at right now. But also, we don't know who the front
I mean,
lines are
game
going to be
in
for
now.
SRG just yet. We're looking for a
Game,
bit
I mean,
more
yeah,
crowd
ठुलो या
control,
काम भएन
perhaps.
Discord
There
मा
are also some other combinations that could still come out on
Stream
like
up
to
one
see.
tick tigre
I'm thinking of maybe even an Akai Arlot just to really make things difficult for the lane.
One
'cause
tick tick
there
को
is
छ
a chance we
Bob
see that
खेल्न
they also
जाने
took
केटा.
out the Alice, a really great matchup if ever for the Arlot.
Yeah,
But
you're not
that's on top of the many other
मेरोमा
picks that could still
129.
come out because again they have a
Oh,
very
मेरो one-
flexible
ए
Valentina.
मेरो
in
तेरो
the
हेरेर
mid
हेर्छु
lane.
मैले
And the
कमेन्ट
Joe got bad now, so they have to figure something else
Where
out
did you
to,
know
to
129
catch this Ling.
That kick is
ल
gone.
200 जना
and the
टोटलमा
fact
हाम्रो
that
210
you do have
जना
Ling,
जति छ होला नि
it does
210
make a
जनामा
problem
टिग्रेर
in
खेल्नु
some ways one-dimensional.
Box
Only one
But
tick.
One
it just feels like
one
a
tick tigreal.
whole oriented draft
Recommend
right
के
now
one trick अनि
from
कति
Pro.
game minimum?
And does that indicate that they're playing the way we think, or does that indicate
Minimum
that they
500.
you know
तर
are
300 match and
just
80%
matching the
minute point.
ability to, if we are
किनभने
getting Cove,
कोही
have
छ
an
भने
answer for that?
गेम हेड मन छ भने पपसँग खेल्दा
Oh, this is very
टिकेट
interesting. The Ruby gets banned out. So I think Slangway Giants,
Yung
they're reading into
Skutsao,
Pro
I wanna
Esports, like you
figure it
said,
out.
like a more controlled kind of draft.
Yeah.
Where there's a possibility of them playing double fighters, and that might be too much for Slangway Giants to kind of handle. So now Pro Esports, they pick up the Harif.
49 minute ko
I'm
ticket
liking
huncha re.
the balance that Pro Esports has, because Harif, even though is a gold laner, I would say once he's level 4, he has that Zaman force, he can
51%
already dish
chance
out
niya,
enough
ano?
damage, making it so that even if Ling somehow got disrupted early, still has time to get the farm back.
Yeah, and idea is
Yung
pretty
to
much
Chao
the
ban,
same. They still
Restream ban
have
aise kaya.
a somewhat box
Ruby
created
ban
at
garda
least
yaar, Ruby
through
actually
the
ban
barrack,
garda
that
yaar.
space
Okay.
that could really aid you in just going for the counter attacks if ever SRG does go and commit to a very aggressive lineup, because we're still looking at their last two
Romra
picks. We brought up
Extreme.
some of the suggestions earlier. In terms of the roam, Hilda's gone, Cho's gone.
Uranus.
Oh, they go for Uranus. So that's not the most setup heavy
Badang.
XP laner, but they will compensate it through a Badang in Rome.
So the Badang is
Badang
one of those
Rome
heroes that can
Chicago.
actually catch this assassins, especially
लिङ र
like,
हिरा
pin
जिले
them
खुल्ला
against
थियो
a
ब्यालेन्स
wall.
फर्स्ट पिक लिथ्यो अनि
I'm seeing Slangway Giants. This is a very
First pickable
unorthodox
hero
kind of draft.
थिएन,
I feel
balance
like
first pick.
not a lot of teams can pilot very well, but Slangway Giants, they have a different kind
But
of way to
Benrick
play,
leave हुन्छ
where
होला
they
है
feel
first
like
pick.
they're gonna win the lane and try to invade the jungle. And now Pro
Benrick
Esports
Ramos, yeah.
answer with the Sora, quite a lot of damage.
And
I
that's
feel
the
like
best
first roll
Benrick
gonna
first
be
pick
difficult
here.
for Slangway Giants.
Marcel
A
ban.
lot of team fight and a lot of pressure from the
right,
lane,
right.
who's just bounce all over the place for Pro Esports. But
Pura-
when you look
pura
at lanes, when you
reactive.
look at like
What's the
setting
draft
up a
plan, man?
macro game and playing it,
Oye,
just
तिम्रो
through and
कमेन्ट
through,
को
do
छ
you
हो
feel
यो
maybe
किन मोड
SRG got the better end of it, Brigitte?
If 150
feels
games
like maybe lane to
to
lane in a
justify
way,
my
because
win there.
it's a
Rome
very
player ne ho,
individual
Narda.
type of
Right.
draft where they
Yeah.
have to
It's
perform
about
individually rather than us
10066.
expecting them to go team fight head on.
Lobby
We'll
code
see
hai,
if
Fred Allo.
Pro Esports somehow get to handle that now that we're heading into game number 1.
SRG have found a way to make it to grand finals every single time they have been at
Pro Esports
MSC.
versus Srilanka already giant.
EWC. Can they start their grand finals run again today, or will Pro Esports
Ant,
stand
ant.
in their way? Let's send it over to our casters to find out. It's
एउटा लट
Ian
डिफेन्ड गर्नुपर्छ
and
केटा
Travis.
हो
Thank you so
20
much.
2023 मा
Our very
Onyx
first series
दिदैन?
of the day is already going to be a banger here with
2024 मा
Salamo Red
SRG,
Giants
2025
playing
मा
on blue
के
side,
अरे,
facing
TLPS.
against Pro from Cambodia
TLPS.
on the red side.
26
I'm looking at this and
AP Branding
immediately
जितेको थियो एउटा,
I'm getting a
हैन?
little bit of those
Second
flashbacks.
भएको SRG
Is
सँग
Salamo
हारेको के त?
lost off again?
I mean, at this point, we already know
TLPS लाई
it's
जितेर
probably
चाहिँ
gonna
SRG
come.
सँग
Moscow
हारिरहेको
has been meta. He hasn't fallen off for a while.
Let's
And
go
Innocent,
first
this is a
game.
dream pick for him. It's
Badang-
comfortable.
Badang
It's
खै यार?
comfy all around the map.
तर you-
But
I know
the
no more.
eyes are on the Harara being
I know,
let through.
team
This
in
is a
Noob
pick
है.
that has been banned out consistently.
And here's the thing, the question is whether or not they're going to have Skypiercer, because the first invade is all
ओए
looking
कस्तो एग्रेसिभ हेर्दो
and so looking for first
आम्मा,
blood.
आम्मा,
A lot
आम्मा,
of
जङ्गल
damage
भित्रै छिरेर
on
हाने थियो।
to be
ओए
there.
सेकाइज मरिन त
Running away, getting taken out
One
by
shot,
Coley,
eh,
a nice
Pro
trade. A beautiful trade at that.
One
taking
shot
out
हाल्छ
Jungler.
क्या कप भनेको
That's
हुन्छ
RG,
भित्र
and
धेरै
that's
damage
perfect.
खान्छ।
That's exactly
अँ।
what they want. The trades need to be effective, and with
Pro
Jungler
इसको त राम
already
trade
taken
है।
out of the question in trade for a support, I mean, Pro, they're punching above their weight. They're getting
यो अन्त
great
फ्री
trades.
टिम राम्रो भने हेर्न क्या मजा
At
आउँछ
this
यार मा
point, we gotta talk about strong side,
Punish
weak
नि
side, because
हान्छ
they initially played for early game strong side onto Cram to deal
Straight
with
ni
Felix,
लिन्छ
and it's only going to be until level 4. After
try
that,
to
I think they're
Rupe.
going to head down to the bottom side.
Oh, but,
I mean, I think at that
Assassin-
point,
Assassin
SRG
भयो,
with that
Assassin
quick
भयो भने
invade,
हेर्न मजा
looking
आउँछ
for
कि
play,
यो
kind of
tank,
testing
like,
the waters, right?
game
How
खतरा
good
भयो
is
चाहिँ
Pro?
हुन्छ
Can
क्या?
we
Tank
bully
double
them? I think
को
they
battle
learned
भन्दा नि।
quickly
Same.
that Coily is going to respond.
एउटा chance दिए
And
मैले तिम्रो
because of
मोड
the
लाई।
movement on this lane, it's a bit harder to try to make those plays
Right,
happen. And
Alu.
yes, Sekai's has
अर्को
the
मोड
iframes,
पनि
he
छ है
has the
एक्सपी
ability to
खेल्दा
escape, but we're already seeing the consequences that can be made if you overextend. I feel like he's already lost that momentum, right? As soon as you hit level 2
Ram?
of Kirara, that's probably
all
your
done
biggest
it.
power spike overall without the
Felix
items.
tackle लाई all
Now,
done.
we're seeing that a lot of that mid-motion, right? Clear up that mid as soon as
Fast
possible
leg on
and
it, but that is-
immediately start moving towards the other sides of the map.
तर टोटल फाइट
Alright,
त
so Pro Esports
ओए बेन्ली कल लियो
looking for an
सोराको
angle,
लिएन
and
यसले
Sekai's already
Bentley
started
called
working
लियो।
on this turtle.
Saw making away as well, does have level 4.
Nice.
Can put out some
Lingo
decent damage,
farm
watch for the stun. But SRG's not going to try to rush this either as Coily goes for the orange buff. A little bit damage
Oh my
on
god.
Yumes making his way in. Sorry, Felix going to back off. No big angle from Pro just yet. Coily has to finish this orange buff as quick as possible. He's going to look for the angle in. No pinch poise just yet. Gets a nice little bit of damage on a Sakai's Tempest Blaze. Does comes down, gets the knockup.
Oh my. Wait. GG and that's what it.
Pro Esports looking for the next target. Stormy runs
More
away
is
in
something.
shambles. Sorry, I'm Felix with a kill under his belt.
By Linglet of crazy and what
is going to be good. Pro played that
By Ramos
perfectly,
again,
knowing the Wrath of the Dryads was in the hands of Stormy. Already gave them an idea.
202 guys.
Hey, they're looking at
202
but they're not
Linglet
clearing this
to
board
be
fast
on
enough. When we this turtle fast enough, let's look at the replay one more time because Cram's job is
Valiant
very
तर कस्तो
different.
ढिला आयो है तर के गरेको
Can't
Valiant
zone out multiple
लास्ट ढिला भएन
people
यार यो
just
त
yet. And the worst part about it,
Sekai
losing
चाहिँ
that
टर्टल
50-50
सुरु नगरिकन
from the side
ब्लू
of
खानु
Sakai
पर्ने
has
खासमा
already
भन्नुपर्छ
netted this team to be
फार्मको
going on the
भन्नुपर्ने
back foot for the at least the
असासिन
next 4
असासिनमा
minutes.
जसले टर्टल
Yeah,
सुरु
I'm almost
गर्यो
surprised
Yeah,
Sakai's went
yeah,
for
yeah.
knowing the Tempest Blaze was going to come, but a little
More
bit of
more
damage down on the
calls
last side. Kuzin.
Stored me.
Oh, gonna try to get away. Gets hit by the Terror.
Oh my god.
Beautiful
Okay.
SOD from Innocent to get to the backside.
Kill the
Taking
fine
out
Innocent.
Kuzin. Pro Esports forced to back off. A nice little bit of something and back to Innocent. Hasn't been involved in any of these fights. Having a
Innocent,
decent experience.
Moro.
Could be the saving grace unless he's taken out by Coily here. Couple more shots. Tempest of Blades.
Nine feet
Into Coily's pocket. Able to make sure he secures up Berserker's Fury.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Yumes already used all of his charges for the fist crack. Fist break, unfortunately, did not connect at the right time. But like Lefel mentioned earlier, SRG is playing a really difficult composition. You truly must be interconnected. Your hair is connected, and more importantly, if they can find something back.
Nice damage. Stormy.
What the
fuck?
Oh my. Stormy के गरेर चाहिँ तर हगिरहेको छ
Takes him out. Saw gets the kill. Pro Esports have an answer for everything right now.
They kind of have the answer for everything. And I think the patch has made this Belleric a little better. Innocent now taking at least one gold crab here to make sure that it stays ahead. But this 1.3k lead that we see from Pro, I don't think it's leaving anytime soon. Let's quickly have a look at the level difference here. Sakai's currently at level 7. Thank you for moving away, Lord Spawn. To level 8. So he's a level 1.
Turtle. Tempest of Blades comes down.
के गर्दैछ यार सिकाइ कत्रो फुल कमिसन गरेछ यार टर्टलमा
dashes into death. Cram just trying to keep vision, just trying to help defend this mid lane. But Pro Esports doesn't care about it at all.
This is starting to snowball out of control. Sakai's made a attempt to try to at least contest, but so far, Coily, he's been hitting these retributions perfectly on top of the advantage that he has. At this stage, as you can see, the PP is already invading the enemy side just to get early information to allow Coily to make the smartest choices. Hey, there's a lot of people down by this orange buff. Let's quickly push out mid. He's looking for efficiency.
Yumes?
I mean, right now, Pro Esports all around the map. A lot of damage on the Yumes here. Gonna dive under the tower. Yumes has no escape. Tries to flicker, but it's not enough today. They're going to be able to take this tower. SOD does connect. Innocent does dash in. Was it a mistake? He just wants to clear it. But Kuzin's not going to want to let him get away up at the top side, though. Soft falls.
Nice.
On to Pepe. Pepe going to be able to get away. A nice double kill into the hands of SRG. Able to try to find something in the chaos.
Holy
sound delay
dangerous. The SOD on top of utilizing your battle spells to get into this fight. It connects, he takes it, but he already knew that the backup was coming into that back line. Stormy even opting to flicker early with the stolen Wrath of Dryads to guarantee this kill onto Sa. The trading isn't just instantaneous. 20 seconds ahead in the future.
Sound delay आइरहेछ यार
They're able to get some little trades. They're behind 2.5k gold, but it's definitely not the end of the world from them. We know that just with the game IQ, they can make something, shake something. Is it too late? I don't think a 2.5k gold lead is too late at all. We'll see at this first.
2.5k gold lead.
I think first
टिम को के छ भयो एसएस सक्छला फेरि यो इनार राम्रै छ इनारको यस्तो कमले गर्न गाह्रो हुन्छ अलिकति
very much because I'm interested in where Coily actually is at in this lineup. He's 4-0-2 as of right now, and that's a phenomenal
the perfect start was
player. And they're immediately on this turtle as SRG are trying to take that mid position.
Innocent golfing
that's the right play this time. Give up the turtle. Sakai 2-0 on the first time. Just keeps getting caught by the Tempest of Blades. Look for plays elsewhere. Innocent on the bottom side getting a little bit of push. Maybe they translate it to a tower. Coily's
Zipper, that's already 2 items up for Coily. He's in a phenomenal position. Even if he gets put down to 1 HP, as long as he has Finch poise, he can get out of there, go to 1 camp, get back up to full, and he's ready to fight once more. And that's so different in comparison to Kirara, which is so burst-oriented.
Nice damage onto Sariam Felix. Even Pro, even with the advantage they have, they're still taking things slow. They're still playing this smart. A slow push on the bottom lane, gonna connect onto that tower. Top side pushing as well. Esports, you would think they might have came in very chaotic, but honestly, even with the aggression they have in the micro, they're playing a decent macro on the map.
Trying to make sure that they are efficient. They've developed their 1.6k lead, now over to a 3k lead. And you can see that Cram now, he's getting a lot more confident after that chastised Pauldron. He knows he can't get 100 just yet. Sa doesn't have his full 2 items, and most importantly, not enough burst with the amount of HP that he has. He's getting close to that endless battle.
Cram though is another problem on the side of SRG. That much, but right now, as this game moves forward, he'll become more of a nuisance. Only quick stuns on the side of the Wrath of the Dryad, even that won't be able to hold Cram down if he can continue to harass.
But just look at the trades that they're doing, right? They know that we can't compete with the mobility of this lane, so second best option, use Lost Cop to create these cross-map plays. That way, Ling is balanced out and you never have to keep worrying about, oh no, my long lane, I have to deal with it, if not I'm going to lose another structure. But looking at the items so far, more importantly, now that Sariam Felix has his second, this Lord is going to be really difficult. If he engages in there while having those Queen's Wings, there's a pretty good chance that SRG might opt to flicker past him and go straight for that back line.
I almost feel like SRG, the way they're going to win these fights is positioning, right? I don't think they want to just go head first. Look at the damage on a Stormy. A little bit of play in the mid side, but just kind of baiting out skills at this point. Guys does get his retribution in as Coily starts working on the Lord. Guys wants to look for an angle. He just goes straight in once again. Sariam Felix able to push him back.
Nice!
Trying to find the backside now.
Team fight
Beautifully, but Yums might just pay the price, but a beautiful response, pushing Pro back. Comes in and makes sure Sariam Felix can't get to him. Nobody goes down except for Stormy, and that's a decent trade for SRG. Move to the bot side now as well.
Innocent, he's playing the exact same role that Coily is trying to do. Able to win out that 50-50 despite being 2 levels down. That's the difference here. Highly contested these neutral objectives because unfortunately they don't have correct tools to siege each other. So truly, if you want to win that fight, let the Lord do the work. Breaking the towers afterwards might be a little bit harder than it looks.
Yeah, but Innocent on the top side can gain some ground there. Even if they don't follow in this Lord. Ooh, wait a second. Coily into the backside onto Yums, putting out a lot of damage. Does have Tempest of Blades, decides not to use it, isn't going to chase it down. Cram now onto Kuzin. As Innocent makes his way to the midside as well. Sakai getting brought down low, going to try to run through a tower shot to the face, but will be able to dash through. But the chase is on. Felix is going to catch him, but the iframes are not there. Does he get the juke? The sidestep. The Sakai will not.
भाई ला माला लगाए माला लगाया
Make him miss an SOD or something. This entire game that SOD has been at 100% efficiency, whether it's stealing away a camp, whether it's closing the distance, but most importantly, it's keeping Pro on their toes. They can't let their foot off the gas just yet, not against a team of this caliber.
And now the game has fallen into SRG's hands. Pro Esports, it was in their grasp.
1.3k goal lead है SRG को.
But control is not given in a match against the Giants.
Oh man, it's interesting to see how this is going to play out because now that Coily's got that blade of despair, he's got some real kill threat to anybody outside SRG.
Alright.
Cram
nice happens to Blades.
Oh, more
the knock up. Coily just trying to get away at this point, but there's no escape. Cram gets the kill. The recalls are out. SRG's in full form.
I figured it out.
Pro ले जिता है pro दामी सब भागेर भन्छ.
You can be coordinated on the engage.
Nitin, I
but I've
love
never
you.
seen a team actually go and
disengage
at the exact same time. And that's a big problem for both of these sides. Whoever breaks away first usually gets punished, whether it's Sop. Wait, hold on.
Graham takes a lot of damage. Still has the consecration and has a flicker. Opted not to go purify right here. Cram is comfortable, deathless. Like I said earlier, this Uranus is going to be more and more of a problem as this game goes on.
Read Moscow by now, yo.
Trinity wala. That he doesn't have enough consistent DPS to stay on top of Cram, and worse yet, it just feels like a waste of resources as Cram is zoning out 4 members to get the information they need.
Coily wants to try to make his way down. Lord, still getting contested. As Saw keeps vision, but Cram just pushes away the one-man. Coily cannot find a good angle. He can't come Riverside. He's got to go around the backside, but Cram's already got vision on the whole team. And Sakai's isn't going to rush it. He bounces back to Felix in this tri-bush. May try to make a play, but the problem is his mid lane's getting pushed in.
Physical, yeah, the pop मिल्दैन when the magic बनाएर last.
They're not going to show topside until it's too late, and now Pro unfortunately just has to respond to this. Pro's game, but just a little bit better because they don't need. Oh,
Cram छिटो.
Bit of play, a lot of damage. Cram jumps on the 3 Tempest of Blades, does come down. Scorpion escape use. The taunt locks in. Saw falls as Innocent is catching targets left and right. Sorry, Felix just has to try to get away. Under the tower. But another round and a double kill. Cousin just wants to live. Goes back to base, and SRG didn't even need the Lord. Finding members.
Oh my goodness, Innocent. An incredible baseline. He is showing that all gold laners need to have perfect movement. Look at that!
Nice,
Nothing can touch this guy so far. Every ability, pixel perfect footsies all the way through. It's been tough because Pro has been throwing so much at him. Can he steal it?
Coily, Tempest of Blades
comes down. Oi, Matthew! Oi,
he's trying to make the big play, trying to get away.
Nice play. Lord आया
I don't know. Between so many regions across the world, for some reason, Malaysia versus Cambodia, always gets the blood pumping.
Always a banger.
Always a banger. Oh my goodness. It is a tough game here, but it's not completely over. Pro understand, hey, we still have scaling on our side. So when you look at the items, I'm pretty sure that Kuzin is pretty much getting to his third, if not finished it already at this stage. Yep, 4th item technically already complete here. He's got real damage. The problem is could knock him out of place.
Alright. Pro Esports, can they defend it? They still have inhibitors. This is only first Lord. Second Lord, actually. The crash has come through. Sakai's wants to jump in. Yumes with conceal play. Doesn't find the big payoff. SRG look for an angle to the backside. A lot of damage from Sakai's. Coily just wants to try to clear the waves. Innocent looking to target onto this base, but Lord is already down to 20%. Cinco de Pepe trying to run away right now. 9 seconds of play. Nice. Coily gets the pick off.
And they're looking for more.
Felix 9-9 no Oh my god.
With a beautiful defense.
Cram मर्यो कसले पक्ड्यो प्युरिफायर नि
Gets a nice shot on the Humes. Stormy doesn't want to give it up this yet. The minions are still on the base. Pro Esports trying to fit 2 more waves come in.
What the fuck? Back on बटो नि
Doesn't have the
कत्रो रेन्ज बाट किन फेरि
They're able to push him away. Pro Esports survives
Yo,
another wave.
You can tell both sides. They just want that moment to breathe. And SRG have to let go of the pressure after losing Sakai's alongside with Cram. They recognize Pro. They're going to be able to respond faster.
Oi,
get this? No. At least he gets the purple, but does he trade?
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Wait,
goes down, and can't escape this. Siren Felix, look at the final shot. Kuzin able to get it. That's a 42-second death timer on side SRG. Lord comes up in 45.
All right, I gotta stand up for this one. With this game, it's a high intensity for too long. 16 minutes already, and there hasn't been a moment where their heart skips a beat every single time. Cool, calm, calculated. I mean,
पूरा त ट्याङ्क नै छैन युरामा सब बुक बनाएर माथि हालेर
maximum items.
Ooh, shifting skies. Cram takes a lot of damage.
Whoa!
Does come down, but doesn't connect.
Nice.
कति प्रयास
Gotta
थियो यार
run
मैं
away right now. Pro Esports got to give up space as SRG takes control of the Lord Pit.
Yeah, and with missing inhibitors on all
तर
fronts,
फेरि
Pro recognize that
प्यालेनको अब
we're gonna have to pray that Coily can be the one that buys us
पक्रे
the
यस्तो
extra 3 minutes we need.
पक्रिसकेको थियो
If
नि
he
यार
steals this Lord,
अलिकति
this is
अर्को
going to
अरूको
start
टेन
dragging
सिसी भयो
out.
पनि
But
मर्छ
Pro
Innocent
don't
ढकाल्दै क्या?
have the advantage in the lanes. Every single side is getting shoved in.
All right, but Pro Esports know
Yung
this
plan
range
na,
of
ayos
Lord
yung plan ka na.
they can give up. And when you're in a
यिनीहरू
position like this
होइन
where you
लाइक
have no
क्राम होइन
inhibitors,
बोर्डरमै बसेर
you
जोन
kind of
रहेछ
have
कि
to force the fight.
क्रामले
You
भिजन
can't
दिइरहेछ
play the
युङले
long
अब
haul.
प्लान
You
हान्न
can't
पनि
play the
मिल्छ
dance.
अल टाइम
Look at the
पेलिन्छ
fight they're trying to force. Look at the damage.
त्यो कहिले डज हान्छ मिठो आइटम स्वाइप सेकेन्ड
Sorry, I'm Felix able to just get away, but
मत
taken out
छोरा
by
ल
Humes.
सक्यो लागि
And the fist crack, Saw's down next. Pepe locked
बेट
on
हान्छ
two. As Kuz and
Plank
Coily
हान्नु
trying
नि
to make it back to base.
यो हो नि त
Terrified.
मैं अब
The immortality
के
isn't
अरे
enough.
च्याम्पियनशिप लेभलको
And
गेमले
there you have it, the
पर्फेक्ट
forced mistake
एक्जिक्युसन यार
coming out of Pro
एकजनाले
and
भिडिदिने
SRG. This is
जुत्ने
why
अनि पछाडि
Macro
ट्याङ्क आइहाल्यो
plays a
बस जित्यो
huge
सजिलो
part in this game with such a tough composition of
2020
players
को
as
पनि
well.
विनर पो हो
They
त यार
managed to hold on and turn these conversions only limited to the jungle and
जित्यो
not
guys
structural damage.
और यार त्यो त केही गर्न पाएन यार यो गेम
Battle will take game.
धोबी गाली हाने
Damn, bro.
धोबी गाली गर्ने भयो
This is an amazing contest of two incredibly
लिङले त्यहाँ थ्रो गरेन
mechanically
मसुरा किल्लेर
inclined teams.
यो इनोसेन्टको
And I think
मसो के
everybody's
हो यार
praying, I wish this was a best of 5, maybe even a best
Dude,
of
family
7.
यत्रो
But
safe
for
खेल्छ
now, both
के
sides
धेरै
are
त
going to
सेकाइ
go back into their corners. They got to listen to their coaches here because there
यिनीहरूले
was,
कत्रो थ्रो गरेर कसरी जित्ने
I don't wanna
चान्स
say
थियो
mistakes,
सजिलै मिठो थियो लिङको
but there
फार्म
was anti-synergy at moments.
जिज्या
Bad
अति मिठो
calls,
गेम
possibly, or maybe overextending or doing things a little too late.
I don't think they were bad calls, but I
1-0.
definitely think that there were coin flips that could have been
MVP did
skewed in
innocent,
certain
like.
teams' favors had they just waited
MVP
half a
innocent
second
did
more
it, that's
or
it.
thought a little bit further into the future.
खेल्छ यार
But
इनोसेन्ट
man,
यार
an amazing bout between those two. I'm hoping this turns into a 1-1.
Yeah, यस्तो मिठो
because
भएको
if
यार
they learned anything, that early game was incredible coming out from Pro. The fact that we saw that SRG, even though they stole the Wrath of the Dryads, it's about efficiency, but more importantly, how much can you get with these ultimates? Every single time we see a stolen Wrath of the Dryads hit 2, it's a guaranteed win on that fight. If we see 3 from the side of Pepe, the fight's immediately over.
यिनीहरूले भ्यालेन्ट पनि कि त्यो बेलरिक लिए पनि प्रब्लम हुँदैन भने दिएको होला यार बेलरिक कल लिन्छु भनेर 16 कल
यहाँ यिनीहरूले राम्रो ट्रेडै गरेन नि यार लाइक लर्ड नपाए पनि यिनीहरूले 3 जना ती मार्दै भयो फाइदा हुन्थ्यो प्रोलाई
होइन प्युरिफाई बिना नि यसरी आएको यार त्यो इनोसेन्ट यहाँ पनि हेर्नु
Yeah,
के हो यार यो त लामो असासिन हो कि क्या ल सबै डज हानिरहेछ मा नाइस हल्छ यार जी खेल्छ यार इनोसेन्ट त मलाई लिङले त लड पाए चाहिँ सही हुन्थ्यो यार 27 नि मार्दै थियो ड्यामेज थियो अति यार लिङको एसआइटी पहिला कुन टिमसँग थियो अरे एकचोटि त्यो कुन टिम जोडेको थियो अरे नाम
ओजी
ओजी एसआइटी ओजी भने ठुलो हो होइन
डोडाको 2 टाइम्स वर्ल्ड च्याम्पियन ब्याक टु ब्याक डोडाको हिस्ट्रीमा 3 हार मात्र एकजना त्यस्तो अचिभ गर्यो सोच एउटा 3 हार डोडाको को 15-16 मिलियन प्राइस पुलले जितेको अनि अर्को वर्ष 20 मिलियन प्राइस पुल जितेको
ठुलो यार प्राइस पुल त
दुई वर्षमै 30 कि 40 मिलियन 30 मिलियन जति
बाबाले
लास्ट धनी छ तिनीहरू
ओ यो त मोमो आयो त
मुन है मोमो हैन हौ
ए मुन मोमोको एक्सपी है मोमो त एक्सपी यो त जहिले आउँछ है तर कन्टेन्ट क्रिएटर हो क्या यो त यो लुफी चाहिँ जे भने नि जित्ने फाल्कनले हो यस्तो हान्छ एसआरजीले फाल्कन्स प्लेयरले जित्दैन हौ ढुक्क भोलिको
यिनीहरूले मस्को ब्यान गरे नि सेकेन्ड फेजमा त ब्यान गर्न मिल्छ यिनीहरूले मस्को ब्यान गर्ने मिल्दैन च्याटले सोधिरहेको रहेछ
मस्को त कहाँ फर्स्ट फेजमा ब्यान गर्ने हिरै होइन
थ्रो गर्नु त तिमीसँग सिक्नुपर्छ एआई गरे मसँग कस्तो मसँग हौ
किन किन हो थ्रो गर्न एमएलएमएस इजी यार गाइस भोलिको म्याच चाहिँ बवाल छ केटा
that game that's a
Like, what's the
perfect
game?
way to start today.
Holy Vitality
I
versus
know Brittany
Falcon
wanted to get a
PH.
little workout in as well. You guys were fighting, but now I'll have her hold the mic for you while you
The
actually
golden
get
match
going with some telestration. You can talk about this for a little bit longer.
MPL
Alright,
ID
thanks,
champion
Brigida.
versus
Thank you very
MPL
much, Brigida.
Philippines
She
for
has
second.
she's a great mic holder. For now, we gotta talk back
Link
about
अति
the
बवाल छ
track
केटा अहिले
because
80 मिनट
honestly,
आइसक्यो
like, over
अब
here we
मजा आउँछ
saw
नि त
like
यार
individual plays coming in from Slangoray Giants. Now the thing that you guys
अब युटिलिटी प्लेयरहरूलाई चाहिँ गाह्रो पर्छ अब बबलाई बब त गेम खेल्दैछ हौ फ्राइडे आलुसँग
Carl, DZ.
कार्ल डिजीले कस्तो हान्छ त केटा हो हिँड्नुपर्ने हो तर रुबी ब्यान गरे कि यिनीहरूले ए रुबी गोल्ड ब्यान हानेको अँ
Second game सुरु हुँदैछ चढा अब
3-4 मिनट आइसक्यो आइको मेटा आइसक्यो यसो अब ट्याक्कै इएनसीको बेलै आएछ क्वालिफायर 2 हप्तामा या त अति हान्छ यार लिङ्क एकचोटि मरेर थ्रो भयो क्या मोस्कोलाई मान्यो
त्यो नगरी थ्रो हानिदिएछ लर्डमै भन्नै पर्दैन लर्डमै थ्रो भने नि तिनीहरू लर्ड नपाए नि एक किल पाए त्यही थ्रो नै हो त्यो यार त्यत्रो गोली पाए त्यति गोली भएपछि त्यति नै नपाउनु पर्ने एनिमीले लर्ड पाए पनि मिनिमम 2जना भन्दा बढी त पिक अफ मार्नु पर्थ्यो यार लिङले लर्डमै अल्टी हानिदिइरहेछ अनि कसरी मार्छ नि अल्टी मिनरहरूलाई लर्ड सेकर गर्न अल्टी हानेको र त्यही सेकाइसको लगाउँथ्यो बरु सेकाइसले आएर लर्ड लग्यो भने त्यसको अल्टी भयो भने सेकाइसलाई मार्ने भ्याउँथ्यो नि त्यसपछि यहाँ के गरे यहाँ मस्कोको अगेन्स्टमा यस्तै हो क्या यो लिङ भयो अनि असासिनहरू झ्याउने भन्छ क्या डाइभ गर्नुपर्छ नि त अनि मस्कोको सेकेन्ड स्किलले भित्तामा लाग्यो भने त गाह्रै पर्छ लिङ भयो बेने खेल्दा नि ल्याङ गर्छ मस्कोले बेने खेल्दा लाइन लाग्दैन मस्को
बेनी
उम्,
लाइङ लगाइहाल्छ नि मस्कोलाई पकड्न गाह्रै छ क्या लेट गेममा त कसरी पकड्ने त्यसलाई
चिप्लो छैन
ड्यास आकाइ गर्छ त्यसको हाने कि ड्यास हान्छ झकालिन्छ
कास्टर के अरे अनि एनालिस्ट हुनु भने फाइदै छ यसमा जुन पनि इभेन्ट भयो त्यसमा अब बोलाइहाल्छ होइन गयो यसो होस्ट हान्यो
ठुल्ठुलो कास्टरहरूलाई बोलाउँछ नि
यो के अरे यो यसको नाम के अरे यो लियो हो कि के अरे लियो त होइन यसको नाम के अरे
लफेल
लफेल ब्रिगिडा मिर्कोटो भइहाल्यो यिनीहरूलाई त जुन पनि इभेन्टमा इन्टरनेसनल इभेन्टमा गयो घुम्यो पनि पैसा पनि कमायो यिनीहरूको छ जिन्दगी
म्याड्रिडको नयाँ किट हेरेर छैन यार
यहीँको अङ्कल मलाई सु आयो अरे जाउँ न त सु गर्न फ्याल्कन पिएसले इजी हानिदिन्छ भाइटालिटीलाई 100% रे हेरौँ
साउथ एसिया क्वालिफायर हुन्छ हुन्छ हाम्रो अब अगस्ट 12देखि स्टार्ट हुन्छ गाइस अगस्ट 12 स्टार्ट हुन्छ नेपालहरूको म्याच स्टार्ट हुनुपर्ने हो के भयो बेट्रिक्स बबको बेट्रिक्स भन्दै त के हो हारे क्या बबको बेट्रिक्स हल्का त्यस्तो छ ओनीको हेर्नुपर्छ यार ओनीको 2-0 हान्नुपर्छ उनीहरू। इन्डिया छ कि नै डाइरेक्ट इलिमिनेसन हो। इन्डिया डाइरेक्ट खै डाइरेक्ट हुनसक्छ होला इन्डियालाई। थाहा छैन।
TS versus Aurora Turkey यहीको ब्रो रे या ब्रो या यसपछि हो
त्यो
टिआईको
म्याच चाहिँ सबभन्दा बवाल हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्यो आजको मलाई योभन्दा नि। अरू र टर्की मलाई प्रो स्पोर्ट भन्दा बवाल लाग्छ। अनि
उति लेभल होला
टिएलपी त फाइनल बस भइहाल्यो। कहाँ हुन्छ उति लेभल एक्सपिरियन्स यत्रो भइसक्यो तिनीहरूलाई।
प्रो र टर्की हो प्रो र टर्कीको उति नै होला लेभल
र लाग्दैन।
तर अब इन्टरनेसनल एक्सपिरियन्स हेर्ने भने त टर्की खतरै छ अब तर प्रो भनेको नि अब तिनीहरूले एमपिएलमा क्याम्बोडियाको त फर्स्ट टाइम रिप्रेजेन्ट गरे यिनीहरूले त्यही नै अब गेम प्ले हेर्दा त खतरै थियो एमपिएलमा अब एमएससीमा हेरौँ कस्तो गर्छ
टिम भामस भन्छ टिम स्पिरिट गेस भनेर त टिम स्पिरिट हो नि अभियसली। भामसको स्ट्रङ प्लेयर भने जङ्गल हो। अब जङ्गललाई रोक्न सक्यो भने स्पिरिटले इजी जित्छ। नायल कस्तो लाग्छ? नायल खतरा खेल्छ हौ यसपालिको मेटा छ हो नायलको।
वान अफ द टप जङ्गलर नायल अहिले
त्यो त
एमएससीमा
युटिलिटी पनि राम्रो खेल्छ असिस्टेन्ट पनि राम्रो खेल्छ त्यो त नायल त। अहिले खतरा छ नायल गेम अति बढेछ। गेम पहिले बढेको थियो तर टिम चाहिँ अहिले धन्न राम्रो पायो त्यसले। त्यो भएर टिम राम्रो भयो भन्दा पनि मिल्छ।
इडब्ल्युसी प्यारिस हो तर प्यारिसबाट हेर्ने मान्छे चाहिँ कति छ क्या
एमएलको त हुँदैन होला तर प्यारिसमा त्यस्तो छैन होला हौ गेमिङको लागि त धेरै नै बिजी हुन्छ होला सबै।
त्यही त वर्ल्ड वार सोलवार भएर होइन त इडब्ल्युसी त्यहाँ राखेको प्यारिसमा
त्यही खै के इरानमा खै के भएर नजिक नल्याए जस्तो लाग्यो। एनसी क्वालिफायर लाइभ हुन्छ। लाइभ भइहाल्छ नि
सबैजना एफए टावरमा गएर फोटो खिच्ने भयो
खिच्छ यार सबले फोटो राखिसक्यो मलाई। प्लेयरहरू अरे यार वाइल्ड कार्ड पनि प्यारिसमा अरे यार। रिपर्सको म्याच अब निको पर्छ होला गाइस।
फ्याल्कनलाई त त्यहाँ लोकल यस्तै फिल भइसक्यो होला हौ साउदीको फ्याल्कनलाई के वाइल्ड कार्ड जित्यो अनि बस्यो फेरि 2 हप्ता जति
मस्ती छ मलाई। एकचोटि युरोप जानु छ कि केटा साउदी एभ्री टाइम साउदीमा हुन्छ टुर्नामेन्ट इएनसी पनि फेरि साउदीमै हुन्छ भइरहेको छ। 4 चोटि त साउदी नै गइसक्यो हौ। साउदी जाँदा त छिमेकीहरू नै बनाइसक्यो त्यहाँ त मान्छे। नेपाली दाइ छ यार त्यहाँ
त्यो युज चाहिँ घुरेर हेरे
लक ट्रिप एउटा ट्रेन चढे प्यारिस पुगिन्छ युकेबाट। ए हो ट्रेनबाट
एसआरसी जाया जाया जाया
पानीबाट जान्छ होला। यिनीहरू किन हो यिनीहरू यो फ्रान्सकै मुत्यो होला हौ फ्रान्समा गएको।
जर्सी चाहिँ बल छ क्या एसआरसी क्या मलाई क्या उसो खतरा लाग्छ हेर न जर्सी दामी छ एसआरसीको
बप्पाल यो ज्याकेट पनि ऊ त्यो टिएलपिएचको पहिलाको ज्याकेट चाहिँ बप्पाल थियो किन चेन्ज हाने?
यहीको ब्रो कुन टिमले जित्छ होला यो पालिका एमएससी च्याम्प गेस गर्नु पर्यो के मेरो गेस त मैले हिजोको गेम मैले हेरिनँ तर एमपिएलको बेसिसमा हेर्ने हो भने अब खै यार भन्नै मिल्दैन टप 3 चाहिँ भन्नु मिल्छ अलिकति टप 3 एउटा बिटिआर होला एउटा होइन अब एमपिएलकै फर्म मेन्टेन गर्ने बिटिआर हो एसआरजी हो टिएल हो अनिको त मलाई खासै भर छैन।
मेरो चाहिँ टिम स्पिरिट भाइटालिटी अरू टर्की ओके एमपिएल पिएच
टिएलले आफ्नो फर्म मेन्टेन गरेर आफ्नै खेलेर अब छोड्न गरी खेल्यो भने त टिएल त टप 3 ग्यारेन्टी हो। TL जस्ट TL भयो अनि BTR ले MPL आइडीमा खेले जस्तो खेल्यो भने त स्योर टप 3 नै हो तिनीहरू SRG हो SRG नै हुन्छ होला सायद कि त अनिक SRG हुन्छ होला
विदेश
अनिकमा
PLS को एउटा ज्याकेट चाहिँ किन्नु पर्ला यार
Also them like willingly play.
काइरीले मलाई इम्प्रेस नगरे धेरै भइसक्यो के पहिलाको पाली त त्यसको त्यो ब्रेकअप भएको एरियामा त कस्तो खतरा खेल्दै त्यसले
But they got
अहिले
punished,
त
and that's where they
भने
probably
त
started to
के
realize that
काइरीको
there should be a
गर्लफ्रेन्डलाई ब्लेम
certain switch
गर्दैछस्
up, but they didn't do that up until the mid game. So
Oh,
all
लाग्दैन।
the Pro
दोष
Esports
दिन्छु।
were caught up in the
त्यसको
idea
केटीको
that
नि
yeah,
त्यसको
we're
नि दोष
somehow
हो
still
क्या
taking the lead, but at the same time they
बिचारा
were
जसले
actually not,
स्टेजबाट
because SRG
कसैले
was
केही खेलेको
already
छैन त्यसको दोष कसरी
on
हुन्छ
the way to doing something that would favor them much more.
तपाईँलाई मलाई नराम्रो बनाउन खोज्छ मलाई
Right
धेरै
now, as we get started, dangerous grass will be how
बिचारा
we
गर्लफ्रेन्ड
play
सपोर्ट
this
गर्न आएको थियो भाइ
match.
किन दोष कसरी
As
भयो
game 2 is a chance for SRG to go 2-0.
त्यस्तो हो क्या नेपाल हाम्रो नेपाल त्यही भएर विकास नेपाल त्यही भएर विकास हुँदैन क्या केटीलाई ब्लेम गर्नु पर्छ
Talking about this matchup a little bit.
त्यसलाई भन्छ त्यो इन्डो करियर पर्स्यु गर्न
in a way
आएको
that's
बुढी
not going to
बस्न
be
आएको
subdued.
त्यसलाई
They're going to
भनिहाल्छ
show up. They're going to make sure
त्यसको
that
लभ
you know
परे
that
त अब
they're
लभ
present in
परेपछि त
that game.
के
We saw that
गर्थ्यो
in
भाइ
game
त्यसको
1.
Yeah.
See if their lineup set that up for game 2 in this draft.
I
लभ त जसको
really
परिहाल्छ भाइ कन्ट्रोल
I
गर्ने
really
के
want to ask
Oy.
you though. Do you think it's
त किन
just
रिलेसन
really
भइदिरहेको
SRG confident that they can counter the lane? That's why they're not
कहिले
picking it
बस्यो
up in
रिलेसनमा
first pick?
ए ओए यो
Because I feel like we really want to see Sekai's on the link, but at the same time they're not
रिलेसन
going
भनेको
for it.
गर्लफ्रेन्ड
क्लिप गरिहाल्यो केटा क्लिप गरिहाल्यो यो त्यो
Actually, he's playing
रिलेसन
chess.
भनेको गर्लफ्रेन्ड बोयफ्रेन्ड मात्र हुँदैन अब रिलेसन भनेको अरूसँग नि हुन्छ नि तेरो र मेरो रिलेसनै भएन साथीहरू त्यस्तो हो नि त।
टाढा बस्यो भनेको
No, he's saying like this is something that they even keep doing in MPL.
Hazard.
Even though it's a strong pick for them, they're like, hey,
Mushroom
you pick it
got
up,
a-
we'll counter it.
Wow.
Because it's a bait, right?
It's a bait, but also it's kind of like psychological.
Hi,
You're
Ola.
giving your opponents the best heroes possible, and you still beat them.
Thank you, Dinesh.
Especially in a
Now what
longer
do you do?
series, that could break people very, very fast. Maybe that's why in the grand finals they keep winning 4-0.
Maybe. They found a way, trying to do it again here at MSC 26. The fanny ban?
Yeah, I think the fanny ban is very much warranted because especially with all the junglers that are present here in MSC,
Now,
a
first
lot of
pick
good
kill
fanny
guys,
players,
first pick.
and a very good fanny player can almost 1v9 if he has a very, very good start. My interesting thing though is that the Yi Sun Shin gets banned.
Yep.
Moon, what do you think about this Yi Sun Shin ban? Do you think it's warranted?
Why is
Like,
this
should
ban
they
here?
ban
What
Yi
the
Sun Shin
fuck?
here?
I think the Shanshin is good to be banned because he can out
Outplay, out macro,
out macro.
okay, out macro.
Ya. Dia punya farm pun laju, so dia boleh out rotate the enemy lah.
Hello?
Plus boleh dapat vision.
Ah.
Vision tu lah sebenarnya yang paling mungkin dapat menyusahkan daripada segi makro lah, makro play.
Yeah,
He
someone
comment
basically
for
said
the
like the
comment
macro
kits on
abilities
there,
of Yi
okay.
Sun Shin and the fact that he has very fast
First
farm
pick here,
as well
though,
as a
yeah.
global vision.
Why is this banned
might
by
disrupt
SRG
Slangray
side?
Giants, so they opted to ban that out. But now Slangray Giants picking up the
Belliglio,
Freya
Ling
and
open
Pro
छ, Hidara
Esports
open
quickly
छ.
pick up the Belleric
Yeah,
again.
it was really good. I mean, we saw how impactful that was in the Ling. So going back to
फेरि
what
हिरार र
works,
भ्यालेन्टिना
I
होला
mean,
होइन
if I'm Pro Esports, Brigida, I'm
Hidara
thinking we
र
were
Valentina,
close in
guys.
a couple of moments
Fair
of
prediction.
turning this around.
Valentina
If we
juga.
can somehow force them
बेलरिकको
to stay on the back
अल्डिन हो
foot
कि
and
लिङबाट
take
पनि
these
बात
team
हुन्छ
fights or have to
दिन्छ
take
कि
these team fights against our Belleric with our Ling, we might have a chance.
Yeah, because they can do a very similar approach to what SRG were doing
it's
as well.
valid
It's just
draw.
that maybe Kozen took a bit more time to scale up rather than Innocent. Innocent, again, in that game was, I think the casters mentioned it too, he was a bit too free. They could rely on him on the damage already when they needed it the most. But Kozen, I think it took a bit more time for them. So maybe there could be a certain adjustment in terms of that. Maybe over a much better matchup in lane. But with the Hirara trope already showing up, I think Kozen either way would already have a very difficult job.
So what do we see here? Do we see the Moskov picked up now?
The
Ruby.
Pick up the Ruby. Now that's gonna be good because here's the thing.
Ruby gold.
Pro Esports banned out the Cho, but now Yums
Pause
gets the
with
Cho.
me.
And now
What the heck?
Pro Esports
Ruby for
was
Cho.
banned against them, and now they get the Ruby.
So हिरारा गएपछि पनि राम्रो
Moon, my
हुन्छ
question to
कि
you,
फ्रेया
right now
गएपछि
with
पनि राम्रो
Belleric
हुन्छ
as well as Ruby, there's a lot
Double
of
बनाइसक्यो
crowd
मलाई त
control.
Pro
Do you think
Esports-बाट
Sakai's on this Hirara can go in and out? Do you think Freya can go in
Double
and
fighter
out?
हो जो सायद Pro
I don't know,
Esports-को
looks
बाट
like Belleric and
यताबाट
Ruby is countering 3 heroes of SRG.
But they still can't do anything actually because Freya got immune, right? when he's using ulti. And Chow also, I think the approach for SRG game right now will be different. Will be more towards laning and objectively.
Okay.
Also with
Masarapp Kichotiluli tipped 50 rupees. Kasailai 15k plus Lidle 10 minutes ma Kasari Herne tips. Chahiovani Hikulai Soda He live May
For me, this is
XAL.
very scary coming in from Pro Esports.
Calm down, guys. Calm down.
It's very similar to what happened in game number 1, and we saw how SRG were able to answer that, and they're also still letting go of the possibility of this Freya still being flexed eventually. Like if they still want to go for a marksman in the goal, Moscow, but at the same time, you also wouldn't really want to see him on the Freya either, because it's equally just as aggressive, and you could just pick up another source of crowd control or means to combo this lineup through an EXP lane pick for Cram, because either way, I think SRG could be very flexible with the picks that they have right now.
Honestly, interesting that they're banning out the Esmeralda as well. So I think Moon is onto something here. They really want to win the lane. So I feel like Slangway Giants in game number 1, they were playing the mid game as well as a little bit of the late game. I think for this one, they want to have priority from the get-go. They want to make sure the first turtle they're able to get, second turtle they're able to get, and then try to control the map by the first 10 minutes of the game.
Well, when you look at what you could do better, if you go back to
SRG
that
बाट गोल
room
लेनर
for the 10
अलिक
minutes
टिम
between
सँग
games,
खेल्ने
that's what
गोल
you're
लेनर
talking
लिन्छ
about. Those are the moments of a coach to come in and say, this is what we can improve. You guys did great towards the end once Innocent got going, but if they had countered Innocent a bit more, that could have been trouble, which is why, I mean, I'm focused on what they're going to put Kuzin on.
Double fighter on success sliding मलाई रुबी गोल ला पठाइदिएर
So they need somebody to kind of go toe-to-toe, maybe pressure
अहिले
him out,
उतै
make
लिन्छ
sure he
होला
doesn't have such a free game.
Vexana रे what the heck
Vexana.
अति
Moon,
उतै
what do
गर्ने
you think
भयो
about
यार
this Vexana pick? Like, Eudora okay, but what about Vexana?
Vexana
अति टन्ट हान्ने भयो
rasanya
Chora
dorang
रोक्न नै
lebih
Vexana ले
fokus ke arah untuk
हेर्नु
bagi sisi
कस्तो
lah
झ्यावानी
untuk
कम छ यार भेक्साना रुबी बेल ब्रेक रे क्या कस्तो चाहिँ
yes. So dorang more towards
CC हान्ने कम्प्लिकेसन हाले
dorang sebab kan kita boleh nampak dekat second dekat first
Sebab
game
kita
tadi
ada
dorang
Ira
susah nak
pun ni
target
dive in,
tau.
oh,
Player
Freya pun ni
SRG
dive in,
kan.
Chow
Tapi
pun
kali
ni
ni
dive.
kita boleh nampak yang dorang betul-betul ada satu targeting ataupun satu
Meza
hero
kini
yang
Chow
dorang
apa?
nak target untuk kalahkan terus dalam team fight tu supaya dorang boleh take advantage.
Valiant ban भयो
So
यार
basically,
Valiant
he's
नि
saying
पनि
Vexana
जारे
has a lot of burst as well
Meza
as
मैले
good control
Eve
with the
देखिरहेको छु
ult. So
option Eve
looks
कि
like
त
Pro Esport, what Moon is saying, they still want to double down or more crowd control, but this time having Vexana going
Farsa.
straight to the back and try to get the instant kill. But now Slangway Giants with the
Farsa नि ठिकै
Farsa
हो
as well as the
Eve
Claw.
लिने
So
मिल्छ तर
right now, it
Eve-सँग
looks like they
Chow
want
र
to
Eve
fight fire
कम्बो
with
हुँदैन
fire.
त्यो
You have burst,
एउटा
we
burst
have
आएर
burst.
Farsa
And he can still play the long
र
lane with the
Chow
Claw.
र Claude
Wow, look at this.
रुबी त गोल्डै होला के लेला त
This is not
actually
looking fun.
I mean, I don't know about you. I'm having fun with the draft coming in
Actually,
from the team.
Well, if
यता
you're playing
एउटा
this lineup right now,
CC
then
त
you
already
might
enough
not
छ
have
अलिक
this
damage टाइपको
much of
चाहिएछ
a good
भने
time because
के
you
रे
already are seeing so much backline
Lapu.
potential from SRG,
Man.
and you're
Lapu.
playing a Vexana
Lapu
with
त
little to no mobility or escape tools
अलिक
as well.
damage
If
टाइपको
not
रहेछ
for
कि
that
होइन
knockup, you
क्वालिटी
could just get
इनफ
from the
फ्रन्टलाइनर
Eternal Guard. But
फ्रन्टलाइनर भने
I
यो
think
Yuzong
you're
is
basically
the
touching
guy.
on what Kuzan could pick up. We're not sure if the Ruby is going to be his hero, honestly.
एउटा
But more,
damage
do you think
experience
it's
जान्छ यो
gold
सेमी
Ruby,
ड्यामेज
or do you
116
think they're still planning to flex it? Okay,
ए
never mind.
लिँदै लिँदै यो रुबी एक्सपिरियन्स
Well, in some ways, this is confidence that we did some
Yeah,
things
it's
right and
like,
we
bro.
needed to swap a little bit. That's where the Ruby comes in, off the ban list, and the Vexana to try to mix up what is a similar
डर
3 out
फाइटर
of
जाँदैन
5
हुन्छ यसलाई
Herent,
प्रो यो
Ling,
प्रो
and
स्पोर्ट्स
Beleric
गेम
for
त
Pro
ठिकै छ
Esports.
अब
But the Farsa, the Cho,
ह्यारिसलाई
the
स्किल हुन
Claude,
टाइम
and the
लाग्छ
Freya,
लिङलाई
all
पनि
new
स्किल
picks
हुन टाइम
here
लाग्छ
for SRG.
अलिकति
I gotta say, this looks like a very fun
ह्यारीको
draft
पर्सपेक्ट
coming
तिनवटा
in from
आइटममा
Slangway Giants. This is the kind of
लिङको
draft
त
that
दुईटा
says,
आइटम
we still
बर्स
want to show
गएपछि
our micro,
खै
but we
यार
just want to
हेरौँ
end the
कसरी
game
खेल्छ
pass.
Moon, it's been great having you and your
Change
thoughts as
season
well.
बब्बाले
We're going
लिएको
to
छ
follow
प्रो
you along your
स्पोर्ट्सले अब
stream. Thank you for joining the
Thank you for
guest.
having me.
As
Let's
game
go.
2 is about to get
SRG,
underway,
2-0.
SRG trying to make it back to grand finals here for the 3rd time in a row at MSC.
Ready for battle?
The
Yes,
challenge
bro.
of Pro Esports stands in the way. What can they do? Game 2. As you send it over to Giddy.
गाइड क्वालिटी त कस्तो ड्राफ्ट मन पर्थ्यो तिमीहरूलाई पेडी खानुम
Thanks so much. We're already jumping into this next game, and the adjustments have been made by Pro. And I'm not gonna lie, initially when I saw Vexana, I'm pretty sure with the rest of the world, we were all like, wait, what? Why? Why are we going this when the Eudora was already doing some good work trading battle spells? And I think what it comes down to is wave clear. I mean, you can get a Cinco de Pepe to come with you every single time to get that concussive blast, but now with Sa on this Vexana, single-handedly, I can clear this waves. Pepe, go where you need to be.
लिङले रेड देखि
That is
स्टार्ट गरे
fair,
सुरुमै
but you still have to
ओइ
be careful because
मा एकछिन त पाएछु तिर
You lack the flicker. Yes, you had to pick up a flicker yourself, but you lack the movement, and that's where I kind of like this. You lack some of that big AOE where I would have kind of liked the Eve possibly for Pro. But again, they're the pros here. They're the ones who have to make the decision. You do at least get the stiff arm for Cram. You have the Terrify. You have that ult that can kind of either disengage or engage. So there is potential for Saw here.
No, there's a lot of potential, in a matter of fact. I was thinking Eve in the same exact light, but I think the big problem is that once you drop down that RWM, you're kind of a sitting duck, and I think they're up on the top side, doing a very good job of winning out this lane and even getting an early regenerate out of Kuzen. He's going to call for some help here, and Belleric is on the way.
Oh, Sakai's nice, wants to try to target down Kuzen. First blood into the hands of Sakai.
Just a little too late. Pepe could not get there in time. A great setup from SRG's side, but now it looks like with that top side winning the way that it is, it's got to be a bit of a trade, right? Strong side bot with this Freya. This Ruby is going to try their best to try and slow Cram down as much and more ideally sandbag him.
Coily gets knocked up. Coily's been doing amazing on this Ling last game. Even when he died, he was making some great plays, always at least trading off. Able to secure the first three turtles, all three turtles, into the hands of Pro Esports. This time, Pro, though, definitely taking a slightly slower pace. They want to look for the engagement. Yeah. Oh, nice time offended. A lot of damage comes in. Kramax trying to run away. But the Venom airstrike comes down, instantly targeted by Coily. Coily able to finch Pro's away to safety. Yums is there. Punish? No. Yums not going to punish.
Unfortunately, the flicker is coming back up only in 12 more seconds. The mistake was the fact that Cram and Stormy, they had the right idea. They're in position to actually activate. But as soon as that feather airstrike comes up, instant characterization coming in from Coily. Let's replay one more time, right? The I'm offended comes on through, and even Cram decided to disengage from that fight. I was thinking whether Cram could actually 1v3, but it's too early on in the game for him to do that. So they just have to peel away the jungler to slow down any kind of snowball attempt.
Still a big win for SRG though. 1.2k goal lead, a turtle, 2 kills. The deaths are on Sariam Felix and Kuzen, both offlaners. And a big kick lands down onto Pepe, and he falls. Coily now trying to pick up something in the midst of the chaos. Tempest of Blaze does come down. Gonna get the knock up onto Yums. Yums falls, moves on to Stormy. Stormy forced to wings by wings away. Coily has one more bench pose in the pocket. Cram's gonna try to lock on. Sariam Felix here to help out. And SRG backs off.
Yep, they could have tried to deny the luckily sorry, Felix is just man-to-man against Cram. Not gonna let him walk away from this lane scot-free. And on the opposite side for SRG, this is a big lead. 1.5k is looking really, really good right now. However, a lot of their damage is coming from both Sakai's as well as Stormy. Yums is supplementary damage, but eventually it's going to fall off in the later stages of the game.
All right, so with that, I feel like we're taking a slightly slower pace this game. Things seem a little more even, but SRG still holding it.
And I like the movements from this, right? Hey, let's try and invade. Oh no, they're already there? Okay, let's quickly clear up and set up a potential dive on bot side. Now keep in mind, sorry, I'm Felix. 7 more seconds until that comes back up with Cram. I mean, he's thinking about it, but somebody needs to make the kick happen.
He does have the ult. This is a scary hero to go under a tower with. A lot of ability to hold you down for a second or more too. Pro Esports has no idea they're all there. They finally do show themselves. A lot of damage on Asarian Felix. Able to use the flicker back. Out of the way, into safety. And SRG knows they weren't able to get it. They're gonna back off.
Beautifully played. Now they unlock Cram from this lane. They need to quickly run back up towards Turtle side. Unfortunately for Pro, they can't rush it down just yet. So SRG will contest.
Looms gets away the dragon. Right into Sakai's. A lot of damage. On to Belleric. Pepe will fall. Innocent able to get the kill, but the response quickly from Kuzen able to get one onto Yums. Kuzen in the midst of Zmon's force. Cram forced to back off, doesn't have an ult anymore, and now Pro Esports has the pit.
Yep, they played for the fight, and now they don't have enough for this turtle.
Yeah, let's go.
That's the thing. They're trying to make sure they keep Coily in one place for as long as possible. While SRG quickly have to make a cross-map play on the opposite side. Let's look at this replay one more time, because initially I was thinking maybe they don't have enough damage, but then Innocent comes in with a blazing duet to get that last bit of a kick that they need to get across that finish line. Cram, the entire time zoning out Saw. It's a great idea because Saw is going to be the main anchor for the side of Pro Esports to wombo combo with each other.
All right, so
Ling's chance to start it off.
Pro starting to show off a little bit. Coily getting some nice damage on a Cram there. Force use the Valkyrie's Ascent just to get away. Pro Esports are matching the pace very well across the map, and even when SRG looks for plays, they haven't been able to secure the big gank yet.
Yeah,
yes, they're able to like attack the offlane.
See, that's the thing. I think that Pro actually decided to adapt it. They realized that a lot of the punishment was targeted towards Coily's side, a lot of the invasions as well, and even down here by bot side, right? They're trying to keep him in visible areas across the map. They're not letting him take control on the opposite ends, and I think they've been doing this since game number 1 for the side of SRG. Pro on the other side, hey, if they're focusing on our Ling for this long, you know what? We're going to play for our Harith, right? Look at the reinforcements controlling this top side. Wait, a kick!
A lot of damage. Saw goes down. But a lot of ults used as well from SRG. They're going to be able to take that tower in the boss side as well. It finally falls. They've used so much just to try to secure it. And all Pro Esports are going to get out of this is a top tower.
This is quite the scrum, a game of rugby. So guys, no, Coily not going to go for it just yet. Scared that maybe without
what's up, Masarapp?
Hello,
welcome,
it's 6-3.
Welcome, guys.
7K lead has not been developed further than this.
All right, so Pro Esports kind of backed against a wall a little bit here. I do feel like SRG
guys, make sure to like this channel, like and subscribe guys.
Right? And Coily continues to look for targets, wants Cram so bad. Can he get the final hit? Tempest of Blades comes down, but a nice jump away from Cram.
All depend on more Coily.
Right into the
what a kick.
Nice punch play.
Between 3 will fall as well, but still it's a jungler for a roamer. SRG gets a huge advantage.
This turtle should fall into their hands as Pro is forced to move back into the lanes to make sure something happens. And listen, he's max stacked right now on that Art of Thievery. He's dealing some real damage.
A lot of damage from Stormy as well on Asari and Felix.
Oh my god, no.
And everyone misses Cram. Looking for the engage here. Doesn't have the Valkyrie Ascent. Will back off. Kuzin looking for a quick strike. Jump spawns force. He dives in.
Nice.
He's stunned up, taken out. Kuzin. Innocent. Not able to get the final shot
what the
down.
fuck, Kuzin?
Wow.
Oh my goodness, you can hear that crowd. What a gut punch. They wanted to see
you
Kuzin
Pro
go down,
Esports
but his
last
mechanics
day,
kept him
ballsy play
back
game.
up. The trades that have been happening across the map, honestly, it's not the worst for Pro.
It's a
but at the same time, it's not helping the scenario, right? It's just trying to stop the bleeding. It's trying to stop the infection from spreading. And for Pro, Coily, he's that guy. But let's look at this replay just one more time, right? Great play because Kuzin has just enough to be able to close that distance, but Sakai's locking him in place to not sneak in that last attack.
I was looking, I was so locked onto Kuzin. Sakai's getting taken out by Sariam Felix. Definitely evens the playing field a little bit there in that fight, right? Pro Esports haven't fallen behind. I mean, last game when they were ahead, they were sitting at about a 2.5k goal lead, and SRG was able to turn things around. This time, SRG only leading by 1.4. Pro Esports not out of this. They're going to try to move on to this bottom tower. The slow push, and SRG's not going to be able to make it
what
there.
The fuck?
Gotta watch out for Yunes. Nice way of the dragon. Blitz comes down. Innocent.
Nice.
Not engaged just yet.
Pro Esports on the game,
this could be bad for SRG. They're forced just to able to get the Tempest of Blades out before the kick actually connects. Really good stuff here because it comes in 2 parts with that kick. So if you want to drag it out and max it out, you absolutely can. But if you got the right boots, you can get out of it no problem as soon as you have abilities available. This could be Flicker. This could be Either works the exact same way. In this particular case here, I'm noticing that SRG, unfortunately, don't have the same benefits. Pro can walk into you like a bulldozer.
Guys, first team
have to play the consistent push and pull. They can't all go in at the same time. If not, Bellerin gets value, but Cram can't go in by himself.
Both teams dead even on towers on the off lane.
Wait, Yunes figure out Anju.
Thunder strike comes down, but the damage isn't enough
to
keep Pro Esports. Pro Esports now with a man up aren't going to rush this Lord, but
figure out
Pro Esports ने बोला हाथ से माने ने टक्कर चाहिँ दिनु खोजिरहेको हैन मलाई कमब्याक हान्दिरहेको हो यो भन्दा त
बढ़ियाको टिम हो कहाँ भन्छ यार यत्रो कन्ट्रीलाई every time underdog भइरहेछ यार जित्नु मन छ नि यहाँ
I mean, with a man up, he still feels comfortable. Sakai's going to try to make his way in.
अनि
Still able to get the Lord.
रिसाइसक्यो
able to get
कौली
away with his life.
हिस्ट्री क्यापै
Trying to
त
take it.
3
He's
लेभल
gonna move on
पर्छ
to the
तर
target.
अब
Pepe
जुत्नु
taking a
देखाएको
lot of damage. Valkyrie sent into the backside.
This
Sakai
one
goes
was-
down because Kuzu responds
Eric Murray.
first. And now Pepe may be able to get away here as Cram is unable
यो
to
चाहिँ
secure
यस्तो
a
राम्रो
kill.
यार पोलाई
It's 2 down on the side
हान्छ
of
क्या
SRG.
पोले एकदम
And a Lord into the hands of Pro Esports.
And this is what I was talking
Goalie
about.
fuck is
It's
a
so
game.
difficult for SRG to throw everything at the wall. Somebody might be out of
Yeah,
position, somebody is a
ball
little too
game
far,
better,
and they need to be in literally the perfect triangulated area to catch everybody. Because look at the tri-brush here. Instantly when you see that Cram decides, I'm going to change my targets over to Saw's side, the rest of Pro immediately collapse around him, and Felix is buying the perfect amount of time for everybody to either battle spell out of there or create some distance.
jungle deep for us
This
game
right
there.
does come down in defense, but a lot of damage on Humes. Humes just has
चावललाई त अब गाह्रो छ यार
in
के
these
काट्नु
fights, the damage just a
रुबी
little
छ
too much
भेक्सन छ
for Pro
बेलरिक्टमा
Esports. Are they gonna move for this?
उई
Oh,
More
Sorry,
Felix.
Felix comes in. Purple buff is
एउटा
secured by
अल्लाइ
Sakai
छैन
still,
बेलरिकको
but a close call on the side of SRG.
Could they potentially dive this? And sorry, I'm Felix. He might just
Lead game
initiate.
down to the
He's
eight,
looking
alright.
for these T2, but he's definitely not going to get that tower.
Damage, but the next strike comes
sorry
out.
I'm
Felix forces it back
Felix.
off. Tower does not go
What
down
sorry
like you
I'm
said.
Masarapp राख्नु पर्यो
Pro Esports are relentless. They're going to wait for the next wave and take it down.
Yeah, this Ruby pick, especially with the wave, ridiculous.
रुबीले भाइ
A
लाग्छ
little bit of a 1v1 here. Innocent, not on the Moscow this time, won't be safe.
कोलीको आइन फस्किन ओहो
Bench pose and escape. A
Goal.
beautiful steal for Pro Esports.
Really good stop there. Innocent, unfortunately, just needed to kite backwards towards where Sakai was going to be. He was really trying to sell that he was by himself. And unfortunately, that costed him his life. And again, this is a much better position from Pro. Game number 1, they had the early game. Game number 2, now they have the mid to late down on lock.
ला
Feel himself a little bit.
रिकोलाई चाहिँ आइसके
Oh, I'm offended from sorry, I'm Felix and Sakai's is taken out.
फ्लिकर हर्ट्स बा भेक्सनको फ्लिकर ब्याकअप ओभर मा
He pulled off the Michael Jai White. He was like, he's not given the signal that he's
Cambodia
going to engage.
ICK
It just looks like his hand is floating there, and the next thing you know, he's
ब्याकअप
got
दिन
two.
फ्लिकर हानेर त्यो हानेर क्या त्यो
She's trying to defend at this point, but every time
कस्तो हुन्छ नि सबजना क्या मजाले सँगै बसेर खेल्ला
he really
यिनीहरू
wants him to use it.
He wants it bad, and right now,
Straight
I
on a
think
link
that
छ
SRG,
त्यसो
they have to
चारजनासँगै
recognize that they can't fight traditionally against Pro. It really comes down to the force mistakes, but now that they're taking too much
I
damage,
agree.
I don't know what control they can
I
actually
agree.
have.
I agree.
Looking at the items,
यिनीहरूले
three
यत्रो
down.
यत्रो
He's got- he's a real
आउटस्किल्ड
threat in the
नहुनु
damage
पर्ने
department,
लिङ्क
but he
आउँछ
can
मेटा
never
हेरि
use his
हिँडिरहेको
feathered
Sky
airstrike
लिइरहेछ
first.
उयो हेरि
Because as soon as he does, Coily's right on top of him.
Beautiful, I'm offended there.
Right?
On two. And Kuzin was so ready for it.
कस्तो हानेको
Comms right
फेरि
now are on point.
It's so good, but the worst part is that it's
अति है
unpredictable. You don't know
synergy,
when he's going to flicker I'm offended at this point. He's not giving the traditional signals most EXP laners usually give.
त्यो अब एङ्गल पार्ने बेलिक
Nice kick. On to Pepe, Coily in the backside once
What
again.
damage
Forces
doing?
Stormy away. Pepe's unfazed. Coily just one by one. Anyone can
कोलीले
come catch these hands
पाठशाला
at
हान्ने
this
थिएन
point.
They're throwing it up. They have to play the D. And so far, it's a lot more difficult to play the cross map without the Moskov. Seal
Ah, Lord.
Yeah, Cram, they have to contest this.
Gonna look for it in. Kuzin gets the
Innocent?
Lord. Blazing duet to the
Sam
middle.
Warren.
Innocent takes out Saw. Sorry, I'm Felix looking for a target. As Tempest Blades lands to the backside.
अरे मा अरे लिङ अरे मा
Still not enough to stop it.
Oh my God,
Holmes
Ling.
might just be the next on the chopping block, but Pro doesn't care. They're coming down the mid lane.
And if there's one thing
Yes,
that I
I
learned
got.
about the Cambodians, don't mess with their assassin places.
Flicker आयो, रुबीको flicker आयो,
Because they are nasty with it as they're looking to open
अरे
up
यार,
the
crazy यार,
inhibitor.
Linger,
With a Lord
अति
empowered wave just after.
अरे मा
That's gonna
ओइ
be it.
कम्बोडिया के गरेको
Ladies and gentlemen, Pro Esports
Bro,
inside the
jeez
storm.
यार
Zen
कम्बोडिया
tipped 50 rupees. Masarapp iPhone 1516. Ma Sato color. Wrong Roki purple
jeez
to
यार
gold.
बममा छ यार लिङ
Down. I mean, SRG, they can't be sad about that. The same can be said
Ling-
about
Ling
Pro.
ban-
The
यिनीहरू Ling-
outplays
Ling-
were really good this time.
हिराले
I'll
भुत्रो
tell you
के
what, we're
गरेन
not sad about it
गेम
at
वान
all.
पनि के गर्ने
Absolutely
सिकाइस
not.
गेम
This
टु नि
is-
के गरे
this
हैन
is entertainment right here. It's a one-to-one.
Link trade नगरेर
Yesterday we had to watch all
यार
sweeps
लिङ
today.
फस्यो
In the group
ले
of
ल्यान
death, every team
SRG को
is
fan.
fighting for their life.
I cannot.
Jeez,
I
यार, what a
cannot
game, यार.
believe that we've already
What a
got
game, man.
such
great quality games.
Felix le pani kasto राम्रो खेले यार
Yesterday it was about clean macro. Now it's about how dirty you can get. How good is your infighting? These neutral objectives, though, I gotta tell you, Trex. Half the time, I'm making a prediction in my head: are they fighting or are they taking the neutral? I've gotten wrong every single time.
You never know. They're always fighting, and they're always.
Masarapp iPhone 6 15 मा सेतो कलर राम्रो कि कालो कि पर्पल कि गोल्ड अब नि कालो कलर राम्रो नि कालो पाए कहाँ सेतो राम्रो हुँदैन हौ
राम्रो हुन्छ सेतो
कालो राम्रो हो सेतो हामीले हेरेको यस्तो नराम्रो थियो सबले
But making sure that Sorry I'm Felix is a great answer. No Esmeralda, no problem. You're playing
मैले चाहिँ कालो र गोल्ड
and there's literally
सेतो चाहिँ
nothing
मलाई
you
मन
can do. I'm gonna lock you down for ages.
And honestly, we were worried a little bit about Saw.
Parts are bad pick. Linkly ल्याङ हान्दै यो गेम पार्ट्स हल्का गाह्रो थियो होला भाइ कसरी हान्दै के हल्का
हो नि त अब इराले कम्बो ओन्ली होला
Do you agree with us?
Safar the meta bhayera le
This one pick, or could there be more as we throw it back to the desk?
SRG को फ्यान अति कम बढ्यो यार मजा आयो यार गेम हेर्न फर्स्ट है यो चाहिँ फर्स्ट बेस्ट अफ 3 है यो चाहिँ
finally alive here at MSC as we got one of our first set going 3 games and of course in the group
first game है सबै टिम चाहिँ आज फर्स्ट टाइम
my name's Rain Day I'm joined by Brigida and Lafell here to break down the
action
and
यसपछि हो गाइस
what we would call action.
Ling already मस्त खेल्यो रे
If you were watching and you were watching closely, Brigida, I wouldn't be surprised. Pro Esports, it felt like it was coming, and it came in game 2.
Yeah, they still felt like they barely wanted to change anything about their draft even in game number 1. They didn't really have to switch up much. It was just them trying to polish it a bit more and adjust their XP lane. Like their gold lane stayed the same. Their XP lane, I think that's what made one of the huge differences here in this game, simply because it was also one of the heroes that they used to dictate the pace and set up a lot of times throughout that game. There was that one highlight. There was that one highlight from Sorry and Felix. You have to give it to him to actually close it out almost from that point onwards.
Speaking of Sorry I'm Felix, we actually had a chance to
Sorry
catch
I'm
up with
Felix.
him for a pre-match interview. Let's hear a little bit about his mentality heading into this matchup against SRG.
So guys, Unila bola ke bhai Unila.
Hey everyone, it's Eterna here with Sorry I'm Felix. Welcome, Sorry I'm Felix.
Sorry I'm Felix.
Game baki chora हैन किन इन्टरभ्यु
First
लिइरा
of
छ
all, we gotta ask, why are you sorry that you're Felix?
Chiaដំបងសុំសួរតា
Sorry
I'm Felix. ដំបងយើង sorry គេហើយចាំយើងវាយគេ
पहिलाको इन्टरभ्यु
I just want to say I'm sorry before I attack you.
ओए मा अति भन्दिरा यार
We get context there. But Felix, this is not the first time that we've seen you coming through to MSC. We've seen you with See You Soon, and back then you were up against SRG. Now you're going up against SRG again. What's the main difference now?
បាទអញ្ចឹងអានេះមែនជាលើកទី1ដែលយើងជួប Felix នៅ MSC ពីមុននៅ
Is it कुन एंगल देखि कम्बोर्डिनेट छ त्यो ट्रान्सलेटर हेरे हेरे
त्यही त त्यो हो भने मलाई फ्रान्स के हो होला के यो
មិនដែរមានអារម្មណ៍ស្វាយចិត្តហើយប្លែក
एसी नै देख्दैដែរ
ធីមយើងពីមុនឥឡូវយើងមកប៉ះនៅធីមថ្មីទៀត Yeah, I feel like this is a new thing for me. Before I met this team on my prior team, and now I'm here on my new team, and I'm meeting them again in this match.
Do you think it's stronger now? Do you think the team is stronger?
គាត់ថាក្រុមរបស់អ្នកថ្ងៃនេះខ្លាំងជាង
कम्बोडिया जस्तो नि बोले छैन के अहिले अर्कै एक्सन बोल्दा
मलाई गे भाइब लागेको छ
I think we're stronger.
Okay, he thinks they're stronger.
I think I'm stronger. I think we're stronger.
សួរហេតុអ្វីដោយសារពួកយើងខំប្រឹងច្រើនហើយពួកយើងមានពេលវេលាត្រានជាមួយគ្នាច្រើន
TNG को छ नि गाइस अझै TNG लाई चाहिँ खतरै निकाल्छ जस्तो लागिरहेछ मलाई हतियार
Okay, so they worked really hard, they've trained together, and obviously they've trained for the new meta. So what does he think about the new meta? What do you think about the new meta? Considering that we've seen a rise in assassins in the jungle, how is the EXP lane like right now?
បាទអញ្ចឹងបានវឹកហាត់នៅក្នុង meta ឬ series ថ្មីរបស់ game នេះអញ្ចឹង
गे रिकग्नाइज गे रे
jungle ឥឡូវ
के भने
XP lane
गे रिकग्नाइज गे रे मैले भने
ខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់ជាមួយនឹង team ខ្ញុំអាច
ដាក់វាតាមនឹងបាន
Get on this game again. As a man and as a man town 真的过 get out นะ
Yeah, so for me and my team, we're able to adapt to that one diversion, and then I'll be able to adapt to the map as well.
Okay, but how is the role like? Is the XP lane still a very important part of the game, or does he think that the jungler meta is more important now?
បាទអញ្ចឹងតើមុខងាររបស់ ESP lane មានសារៈសំខាន់ទេឬក៏ថា jungler សំខាន់ជាង
यो पक्कै ला फ्रान्स बाट उडाको के यो ट्रान्सलेटर त
I think they're all important.
Okay, they're all important. We'll get to see how exactly that it breaks down later on in the next upcoming match, because once again, they are up against SRG. SRG, last time when you met them, unfortunately, you suffered a defeat. Do you think that you can win this time against SRG?
អញ្ចឹងកាលពីលើកមុនបានជួប SRG ហើយបានចាញ់គេអញ្ចឹងលើកនេះនឹងមេតាប្រកួតជាមួយពួកគាត់
को चाहिँ लाइक स्टाइल एसएल सँग पर्ने भयो
ខ្ញុំនឹងសងសឹកពួកគាត់ឲ្យបានយកឈ្នះពួកគាត់ឲ្យបាន
Yeah, we're going to do what we can to win today.
Okay. I like the
Cambodia ko
confidence.
caster
Thank you
se
so
bawa
much,
lage
Felix.
good hai
And of
dinaro
course,
ni.
good luck, and we're throwing it over back to you guys.
अति बाबा
Well, I feel I should say sorry every day at this point because I have to talk at you. But sorry, I'm Felix. A great interview from him. I actually really enjoyed hearing his experience. He's referencing playing with See You Soon at MSC 24, where they went 2-0 down to SRG in that iteration. SRG winning MSC 24. Now, back on MSC 26 in France, they've actually taken a game. So already performed better. He's already said follow back and LaFell didn't get your thoughts after that game, after this post-match breakdown graphic comes up. Give us your thoughts just on what you saw. Sorry, I'm Felix impact be now that the Ruby was available for him.
I mean, it's amazing because he played that Ruby offensively and defensively. Because the thing about SRG, their draft is all about going all in. They want to dive. And having that Ruby constantly applying crowd control over crowd control over crowd control, the fact that Sorry and Felix doesn't die as well really made it so that Sa using that Vexana have a lot of going in, as well as the lane coming in from Coily was not disrupted at all. So basically, no win condition was disrupted for
second game पनि के गरे हेरे
It seems to be
first game
the
त्यसको
most
टिमले क्यारी गर्दैन त्यसले एउटा
natural
लड
counters
छोडेन
towards a troll,
Oh,
which
would
they
you rather play
clearly
that,
tried to play
Khilaun ko
around.
lahat?
It was a great start for SRG, no doubt. We missed seeing the Tro
तर
and
अब
Forest
SRG
together
ले
and how aggressive they could be
link दिदैन
in the
होला
beginning of the game.
contest
But when it mattered the most,
link
you
दिन्छ होला
see
Link to first
the
pick गर्नु
attacks,
पर्छ
the setups not just
तर
coming
अब
from the
कम्बोडियाको
Tro. I
first
think
pick
it was
होला
more Yums also struggling to find footing, struggling to
लिंक
actually
म्यान गरेर
land
हिरा
those
लिन्छ
kicks,
फेरि
those setups
अरे
towards
गाह्रो
the
छ अरे यो
members
गेम
of
एसआरजीलाई ड्राफ्ट
Pro Esports
कम्बोडियाको
in that
फर्स्ट पिक
particular
भयो
scenario. Or maybe if he did, it's not like you could automatically expect them to link up because
bring it also different देखेको गाजरले गर्दा हो क्या
Coily has been doing on the link. So it was really great synergy overall. Pro Esports, I like how they just came into that game
like
as if
different
unaffected by what happened in game number 1.
So Phil, you have a couple of clips for us. What did you see just a little bit before we get into this?
Well, my boy, thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, wait, you're welcome.
Yes. So, first of all, we got to talk about the draft here because one of the more important things is in the previous game, we talked about position 1, but now I want to talk about the advantage of having red side or second pick because red 3 as well as red 5 in this game, Pro Esports was able to use this red 3 pick to counter what SRG showed because in SRG, the order of their picks earlier was pick up the Freya first and then eventually pick up the Cho as well as the Ferrara. Now the thing is, the third pick Pro Esports was this Ruby, which was banned out earlier, and we can see
Sanford
Ruby has because it counters basically all 3 of these picks just by the relevance of them wanting to go in and sorry and Phil's making sure that you guys never go out. So amazing drafting coming in from Pro Esports. We're just gonna see just a few clips here and this is one of the mistakes that potentially could have been good for SRG because unfortunately for this one, Pro Esports didn't play that draft where they tried to go all in. The damage dealers as well as the peelers is nowhere close. The fact that he was able to survive this and eventually got killed was unprecedented. So honestly, SRG should have won this one, but it's a good thing that Pro Esports was able to outplay that. And then we move on further. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the Ruby is so strong. Because we can see here, what Cram is supposed to do is to basically 1v4 in this line, giving a lot of space for the frontline of SRG to actually go for the attack. But as we see, that doesn't happen. Look at how Cram gets just chains CC to death. There's nothing that he can do, and when once he dies, there's nothing that SRG could do. So amazing drafting coming in from Pro Esports. SRG needs to be careful of that.
Yeah, thank you as well, Brigida. This is a second job here. Well, boy, at least she's getting paid. You know what I mean? To do that. And I think at this point, when you look at these two teams, we have seen strengths against other strengths. We'll see if this continues to be the case as we get ready to jump into this draft, where Pro Esports is allowed to dictate the pace of this group fights with strong heroes like Bellerin that has worked so well for PvP and has kept them consistent. Will they give Sariam Felix another chance at the Ruby? Basically bounce that out in the ban phase. And again, Innocence matchup against Kuzin. One could argue that might have been the most important lever that SRG pulled in game one.
Yeah, to a certain extent, I think it was encouraged by the fact that they saw it was a not so high mobility mid lane. It was a Vexana. They had to go in for dives because they would already expect the backline attempts, especially from Coily on the Ling, and that there had to be someone who could bypass the walls that clearly Pro would set up just because of how they wanted to answer and catch these dive heroes. But then it didn't really work out well, especially the team fights did not really favor them eventually. But now it's different, it's flying clouds.
Yeah, the Pro Esports first pick hola bhai after dinaru. After the bhai first pick yinaru ko.
With the Cho, can they catch Coily on that Ling? And he showed that good luck, because that's not going to happen. So I feel like if
the guy draft started
either ban out the Ling or allow them to pick the Ling, but this time pick out the Moskov as well, because that seems the more reliable choice against the Ling.
Yeah, I think they
Ling first pick on the
it's not just the Ling, you have to also worry about the Ruby. You're being countered just in the same way, so you couldn't really do the job that you wanted to execute. But now we're seeing exact same sides. 3 games in a row, it's going to be SRG on blue and Pro Esports on red.
Hey, just submit to me that prediction, man.
Yeah, it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
Hey, that's us, Brig.
Oh yeah.
I'm wearing you're wearing blue.
So
Wow. And you're sitting on the same sides here for this draft. You can't see it on camera, but LaFell's on the left side.
Why is this?
Does that mean you feel SRG is going to do something a little different with this pick?
I feel so.
They've been allowing the response.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Coach Arcadia as well as Coach Ozoravecki, they know how to respond, they know how to adapt, so I'm fully confident in them adjusting for this one, but I gotta say, win or lose, game 1 and 2 already showed that this is an amazing game. So I'm all up for whoever wins this one as long as it's a good game.
I'm wondering if Pro Esports were considering banning out the Phobias, because I don't know if SRG wanna pick up the Ling this time.
I want them to pick up the Ling.
But that's a good point. There has been like a hesitancy. They've had the opportunity to do it now.
So
why Sakai do you think going away from that?
It's already mentioned earlier that's probably them also just really destroying the confidence of their opponents.
That's what it is. Now.
Please pick up the Ling just so that we can see it again, I feel like part of it is sometimes you let them go because you know that you can counter, right? So I feel like second game and then they see with the Cho, maybe they can. So I want to see how they're going to adjust for that, because the other one that is painful to say, what if after 2 years he just doesn't have enough practice with that hero again?
Wow.
Yeah, because I believe muscle memory is
there. Muscle memory enough.
But hey,
practice
there's a lot that happens in 2 years. Gets older, but hey, finally Ling is back for skies.
Yeah, and Pro Esports don't have like the opportunity to grab it for themselves this time, so Coily might have to pick something different. Maybe we see the Hirara in his hands. Possibly red 3 if they want to get there, because as of the moment right now they are going to go straight for the Beleric Prio. Or maybe if they want to save a bit more of their strategies, they could also show the Hirara here too, but at the same time they're just the Freya is still open. There's
Would you grab the
other
Eudora?
That's true.
Yeah, trying to make
Second
sure that they can
गाह्रो
control
हुनुभयो
the
जस्तै
assassins or
भाइ
just hide
थर्डमा
over
अब
the heroes here.
हिँडेर
So I'm liking the Eudora pick here.
भाइ लिग राम्ररी खेलेन काउन्टर छैन
I
क्या
feel like Pro Esports.
राम्ररी खेल्नु पर्यो यसले
I just want to know whether they want to
यसलाई प्रेसर भइसक्यो नि भाइ त्यत्रो खेलेको कौलले यसलाई त प्रेसर भएर लाग्छ
there are different assassins. Maybe they have a different
Second
option.
खेल्ने
It would be scary.
मेन्टल
I
मानि
gotta
हुन्छ
say, Pro Esports somehow get a Moscow.
कोही
So
प्लेयरले त्यो
Moscow
भनेर
and
राम्रो खेल्न
Eudora,
सके पनि अब
I
मेन्टल
don't see
हुन्छ नि
them
मेन्टली
having
नि
a
अब
good
त्यो
time.
हार मानिसकेको सक्दैन
Probably two of the most
सेकेन्ड त भर्खर
annoying
बच्चा छ
heroes to go up against. I'm wondering
The
now if
baccha.
SRG, do they want to stick with something
sorry
similar
MSC
to what they did in game number 1 2? The Valentina is still there. If they just want to further limit the options here for Pro Esports, or if they just want to pair it with strong
Wait, save
mid-duels
rounds again, bhai.
similar to what we saw in game number 2. Because there goes
Really?
Valentina, as you mentioned. So they are going to pick that up.
यहाँ एउटा हिराएर पिको स्योर
I'm
भनिन्छ मलाई
surprised it actually shows up here.
Why are you surprised?
I feel like it was something you'd expect more to come out in second phase.
It's a little early.
Like you don't expect the Badang to get
धेरै
back.
नै सिंगल टार्गेट
You're
हिरो हुन्छ कि
expecting
सेभरले
maybe the
युडोरा
Rangers
पनि
get
छ
banned,
म्या
maybe the Esmeralda, because right now looks like SRG want to run it back for game number 1, except
Ruby,
this time
Saber,
changing
either
the
I'm your
Aurora
dad.
into a Ling.
Yeah.
But that does mean that Kram has to use some kind of frontliner. He has to be the bait, and then Valentina as well as Badang, used by Stormy as well as Hughes, is supposed to be the backup.
And I
think
mean,
that
they are saving that EXP pick so far on the side of Pro Esports. So we don't know what that's going to show up with. But when so far, Kram having a good game, and then that kind of setup. Sorry, I'm feeling being on the backside. Now, when he had a great game with the Harara picked up for the jungle, sorry, Felix is able to control tempo, with the Ruby, and that really helps. So maybe that Kram matchup is really important for Sorry, I'm Felix.
Honestly, even in the interview, Eterna asked whether the EXP lane is still very much important now. It definitely is, and I feel like for both Herrera as well as Ling, they would prefer if their EXP is winning the matchup, because both junglers like to counter engage inside the enemy jungle, right? They want to path vertically. They don't want to clear their own jungle. They also want to clear the opponent's jungle.
Sorry, I'm Felix.
Winning bonus. If
you're
sorry,
jungler.
Your position 1 is going to have such a good
I
time.
just don't see it
Sorry, I'm
being
gonna destroy you.
a good game for a Ruby potential pickup again. If ever
Sa
Felix does want to consider that. It's simply because of the presence of a Valentina this time, which I feel like if you pair together with the Badang in multiple ways, stealing away the I'm offended through the IMU ultimate, then that could just mean more and more damage for Pro Esports in terms of the team fights, because that's multiple layers of crowd control. You also don't know the kind of frontline that we are going to expect from Kram as well. So they would just probably enhance their team fight capabilities if ever they go for the Ruby route all over again. But again, there are a couple more options out there. And considering that there's a XP lane matchup you just really want to guarantee favoring your side, then there's a chance we also see it considered in last for Pro Esports in this draft.
Do you let the Freya go through?
That's a good question. Yeah. Here's the thing. I feel like Freya could do it if
they're
looking at Pro Esports 4th pick. Does not have a lot of crowd control, because Freya's tankiness comes from lifesteal, right? And then you get picks like the arenas just by healing very fast. So I feel like the Freya, as long as there's not much crowd control, so she can keep basic attack to death, then I think they're like, you know what, we can go for Freya again. If the 4th pick, whatever it is, has 0 crowd control, then yeah, maybe Freya. If not,
let's go Pro.
Maybe something like a Terizla would be a better option, just to be a tanky frontline.
Okay.
Moskov banned.
Yeah.
So we won't see that.
SRG are considering.
Wait, honestly, another pick. One of Kram's favorite is the Lapu.
Yeah.
I feel like it is going to be good enough still. And there's a potential for a pick like a Sora, where I can see how they're going to play is someone goes in, please kill Eudora fast. Once Eudora's out of the picture, it's a bit safer for the Ling to come in. So they have two options. Kill the Eudora so fast that the Ling can just clean up.
We also don't know if
someone loves you, Brigida, but that's every day, bro.
It's Brigada.
That's every day.
Brigado?
That's probably not me. I'm just kidding.
Games on the Harith.
Yes, thank you very much. But going back, it's going to be another Harith for Kozen, and we don't know if, again, SRG might want to consider a double fighter setup as well, since the Freya is still open, as you've mentioned. So there's a possibility they go for that in gold, and then another hero in EXP if they just want to play around the Ling for Kram, and that just makes them a lot more team fight heavy as well. That's just gonna help them execute much more of the maybe creative angles that you were talking about earlier, Lafel. But a lot of the other marksmen are also still available nonetheless if they want to consider that. But I'm really considering a Freya potential here.
Okay. Innocent had a great game one.
Oh, Yuzong le bhai.
Hey, let's go.
Yuzong coming in with EXP as well as okay, I'm gonna go very fast for this one. This means Pro Esports, if they pick up a tank in the EXP, they will lose. Yuzong's great in lane, but more devastating in terms of turtle fights, team fights, anything in the river. He will be able to dive in, stop them. The anti-CC that Yuzong has helps him a lot. And Clint, if he gets going, the burst is going to be so high. There's a chance that Hirara won't be able to get into the iframes and just die instantly.
Isn't this also just like one of the best ways to deal with the Eudora? You just fly around the Eudora and you don't care about the threat of getting stunned as long as you're still in your dragon. So
trying to stun me when I'm...
Yeah.
Although, honestly, that should have high effect because Yuzong's high in the sky, so lightning should be more effective.
True, you're actually closer.
Yeah.
Right? And there's the Freya.
Okay. So I think they got to answer so much here. Laning-wise,
Freya,
into the Harith, and then Yuzong into the back lines. But
I gotta say, Rain, this is a trap that's hard for me to call, because the win conditions is not like rock, paper, scissors. This is very, like, you need a lot of context about what happens in the game, so it's gonna be difficult for me to call this one.
Yeah, so probably one of those down to execution type of scenarios. As cliche as it sounds, it might be the way to go as we head into game number 3.
Yuzongलाई किन ban हाल्दैन Yuzong अहिले अलि खास यस्तो मेटामा छैन के स्ट्रङली जति म Yuzong खेलाउने भनेको ट्याङ जङ्गलसँग हो लिङसँग खेलेर छ हेरौँ
we go to game 3 of our first series of Group B.
Innocentको फर्स्ट David game
into this match point from either side, and I gotta agree with the table here. It is a tough game to call as both compositions are distinct.
Let's go, SRG.
But most importantly, it changes and fluctuates depending on the game state, and each one of these phases is going to be devastating for those who give first blood.
Let's be honest, all 3 games have been a tough game to call. It has been a coin flip back and forth between these 2 teams. I do feel like SRG, there's a lot on the line of how is Innocent going to do on this Clint. Yes, sometimes the Clint can be an amazing pick, but for me, I worry that there's just not enough of a box around him, and he could be an easy target for Pro Esports.
I think he's going to be the main anchor of the team. He's going to be coming in the last person to show up. I think it's going to be Cram, who has to somehow zone out Soft to keep him outside of that area, and the rest of the team need to figure out how to deal with Sari and Felix. I'm telling you, that vengeance is going to buy him like 3 seconds worth of time, and that could be like anywhere between 6 to...
Bargain 100 में था तो भाई Innocent तो
very, very fair at that. Both teams, though, taking it slow here. Nobody going for the big invades. You do see Yums kind of checking out Orange Buff to at least figure out the pathing of Coily here, but nobody trying to overextend. It is game 3. It is a lot on the line right now.
A lot on the line. I love the pull yourself together. Understands. I'm willing to trade flickers, but most importantly, if I catch somebody without theirs, it's game over for them. And I like the fact that Pro have adjusted. Right? They didn't get super aggressive in the mid stage. And more importantly, for the mid lane, they want SRG to kind of walk out here. They've already figured out the jungle pathing of where Sakai's is going to be with the help of Cinco de Pepe, and he's made sure he knows, okay, he started on Orange. Buff. They're going to show back up on this turtle side again, so level 4s are going to be key.
Good rejuvenation.
On the boss side, Turtle will be up. Sakai's
farm
any angle in, but again, both teams just taking things so slow. It's so different compared to what we saw.
Innocent, my god!
Oh yeah.
Speaking
of the devil, a lot of damage on Yums. Yums taking out first blood in the hands of Coily. Basal's gonna fall back. Finds a kill. Sakai's looking for a target, but forced to run away. Pro Esports taking domination over the pit. Cram drops as well. 2 members down inside SRG. Skies isn't done just yet. Coily low. Stormy keeping vision. Yums
$9,000 contest number
$1,000. Still level 3, so we can't get a big playoff. Sorry, and Phoenix zoning them away as Pro Esports takes the first turtle.
Bro, you don't flicker
finds the initial assist, but unfortunately he can't keep fighting forever when there's so much CC on the opposite side. Unlucky for Stormy.
Wasn't able to get steel
Dryads fast enough to buy him those precious few seconds to get a little bit more out of his Shah residue passive. Meantime, though, this first turtle already very slight lead, but the lane states hasn't really changed too much. Maybe for Sari and Felix, but for everybody else, it's pretty neutral.
Sari and Felix consistently rotating up to this mid. We can already see the slight aggression. They smelled blood. They're looking for maybe a little something more here. Cram hanging out in lane. But I mean, that's kind of the plan, right? You wait until the objectives, and that's when you want to use that Black Dragon. Whereas when you're on this Freya, you want to move around a bit more. You have the ability to do that.
Yeah, the lane states are so important, especially like manipulating these waves. Cram understands if he hard shoves this, there's a good chance that Sariam Felix, if he's there at the right time, he's able to kind of Stormy negative trade against him. If he's
Coily walks right into it.
Nice.
Danger has struck.
Let's go.
Gets the kill.
SRG multi-kill champion.
Invade here. They knew for a fact he was going to show up, knowing that he started on the top side of the map. So this was all pre-planned by SRG. Also, not to mention the fact that they denied information on the top side. Nothing much is going to be happening here, right? Like we're
के हो यो फेरिक्स त जबरजस्त गरेर क्या रिस उठ्छ
lane states are by far too important.
हैन के त्यो लेन फेज क्या हो त्यो हैन कहाँ छ लेन
They love that tri-bush, but it looks like Pro loves Stormy. They're looking for the target. Sorry, and Felix needs one more hit. He finally gets it. Consistently finding moments to get an advantage.
Sorry, I'm Felix.
हैन त्यसले मिनिने पाइदैन
Much.
He
wants a whole priority, doesn't mind sacrificing. Oh,
nice fist crack, doesn't fully commit though. Knows he was able to get more than one.
That's a Black Dragon form. I think they just have to give this up unless Cram makes a super play where he petrifies
Not a good pick, Yuzong.
Cram is looking for it, unable to connect though. Sorry, Felix connected himself, will get knocked up, but it's just to make sure Cram can get away. Pro Esports moves on to the turtle. As Sakai's points his
Turtle
eyes
में
elsewhere.
कांटे और turtle में नहीं इस्तो भाई.
It was going to be a no contest no matter what. Yums made an attempt, and unfortunately, that's going to be the signal to back away. But sorry, I'm feeling a little bit of a problem. He's starting to take more control over his side of the map, making it more difficult for people like Sakai to even take his regular camps.
Hard match guys yo.
All right, so Pro Esports
One
with good control over the rotations, good control over the map. Sarim Felix seems to be a step ahead of Cram. We saw this in game number 1 though. SRG just needed to wait for that mid state so they can start working together, start overpowering as a team. Right now they're still playing a very split up game. Do we think that moment's going to happen around the 7-8 minute mark when some of those second items start really locking in?
I think it depends on who gets this upcoming turtle, right? If they can deny Sakai... Oh,
a lot of damage on Yums. Saw able to get the kill. Sakai's wants to try to to the backside, but he's unable to connect. The stuns are just too much. The stiff arms are always there. Tempest Blades comes down. Maybe a bad play. Coily locks in, diving under the tower, finding Stormy. Just look at Coily, he doesn't want to stop.
No.
It's so good at
extending their leads, but it's still going to be flying clouds, right? They will be able to get back into their base, into the fountain, and immediately start heading back to where they need to be. They can respond fast, and Pro recognizes this, right? Luckily, we're seeing just how fast with the hand cams, how quick these people are playing. But let's look at this one more time, because again, it's really coming down to how hard can we punish Yums. We take away the trigger man, and the rest of the weapon just doesn't fire anymore.
Yeah, and Cinco de Pepe, PPPPP, whatever you want to call him. The guy has been on fire, always catching Yums. And it's not just this game. We saw it before. Even on the game that they lost, this power has been a nuisance. Overall, it makes it so hard for SRG to want to engage.
Yeah, and worse yet, now we're seeing the infection starting to bleed out from that EXP lane. Small camps getting taken away, and now they fight.
A lot of damage. Stormy not able to get away. Sorry, and Felix without great descent, but in the back lines, guys trying to make up.
Oh my god, he's in all again.
Anything in the face of Pro Esports. Cram falls next. And Pro
यार
Esports
सक्यो
lead
Pro
this
Esports
game with
जित्यो यार
5,000 gold. It's nothing but Innocent left.
They can't do anything about it. The peel is too good, and if SRG makes the first move, it's gonna be Pro who finishes it. As they take this T2, let's look at this fight one more time, because again, this is a terrible position for SRG. They want to have a traditional front to back. Innocent doesn't have as much mobility now that he's playing Clint. Instead, a lot of something is good as a Harith or even a Moscow, or more importantly, the Claude.
Yeah, they keep
अनि
getting
यो ड्राफ्ट पनि
disconnected. It's no
कस्तो
longer a front to
जेप्पा
back,
चाहिँ
it's a
ड्राफ्ट भयो
front
एसआरजी को
and back because someone else is standing in
लिंक
between them.
सबैजना
And at
ड्यामेज
that
दिने
point, once they're
हेरो
split up,
बादल सुत ड्यामेज
Stormy gets taken out. Sakai's already committed to the backside, which means he's going to get taken out because he's got no backup from his team. SRG is getting intersected every time.
It's starting to look like
यो टिमले चाहिँ क्याम्बोडियालाई अब देखाउँछ जस्तै केटा
from your sandwich, leaving you with only 2 pieces of bread and nothing good.
लोअर व्यागन गयो नि गाह्रो छ हो केटा
But it's not impossible.
लोअर व्यागनमा एसआरजी गयो नि त
items start to come on through.
इलिमिनेट हुने चान्सेस हो
Not even the
एमएससी
second
बाट
item has been completed, so he hasn't been able to sustain as hard as he wants to. And there, the Wrath of the Dryads is out. This might be the signal.
SRG.
I called you, okay.
I don't think they can force it right now.
No, the IMU got wasted, took the Salmon Force, did not get the Wrath of the Dryads there.
They're
just going to have to let this happen.
Sakai's at least on top side looking for some play on the map. They haven't taken a single tower yet. So not only is it a huge gold lead, it is a huge map lead for Pro Esports. Sorry, I'm Felix, 2-0-3. The man has been a monster on this Freya.
It really has. And the worst part is that they have no real... Oh!
Big stun, a lot of damage on a Stormy. Cram takes it as well. Coily untouched, unfazed. Another tower should drop here. Pro Esports relentless.
This is disgusting. Like, Sa can do this forever. This is such an impressive play style. 80 seconds to 103. That's a 23-second difference just because he has pull yourself together. And Sa's going to do it again. He's going to keep repeating this process, targeting Stormy to make sure that they don't have any form of counter-engage, because Yums is the only one who's allowed to walk forward.
So do we think we're regretting the Ling pick up front? Maybe should they have gone for something else? I feel like at this point the Harara Ling, it's an even trade no matter what you get one of them. Maybe you can start prioing something else. Or is Pro Esports just outplaying in a general sense?
I think it's outplay, and I think they were thinking, I wish we had Lapu, but here we go.
Guys, looking for a way into the backside. Coily still able to get it once again. Sakai's looking for the steal. At least they don't lose any members. They still have a holy defense in the pot. This could be defendable still against Pro Esports.
That was a difficult contest here, especially for Sakai's. Despite the Bladed Tempest, right now he is 2 levels down to Hirara and has plenty of base damage just to kind of go above and beyond the retribution that we're seeing so far. And now that SRG backed all the way into the corner, we're seeing a repeat of game number 1, but this time for Pro.
Passive.
Skies continues to play the off lanes while his team defends. The holy defense will be the mid side for when this Lord comes. Mini Pro Esports may not be able to get a full push in.
Cancel the recall.
Is this the 1v1?
He's got to cancel the recall. Ooh. There we go. That's it.
That's
what Oiling has been doing all game. Oh, you're going to recall a very dangerous spot. I'm going to waste another 5 seconds of your life. And these 5 seconds have been
Still playing the top side.
Cramp.
Cinco de Pepe looking for a target. Cramp forced to back off.
Top defense, top
defense.
defense.
Dryad has not come out just yet. He's holding on to it. He finally pops it. A lot of damage on Yums. Dive into the backside. Kuzin gets the kill. Sakai's in the backside as well. Tempest of Blades comes down. Unable to find any target. Sakai just can't secure it as Coily gets it. With barely a sliver of health. 2 members drop on the side of SRG, but they do defend their inhibitors.
It's down to 1 HP that makes the difference in Pro. Unfortunately, it was a good play. And SRG, they had the answers, but they didn't have the economic lead to make it work.
Honestly, though, the fact that they lost no inhibitors is still huge. I might rather want to lose 2 of my team members than lose that off lane. Lord is going to be important. Where we are at in this game right now.
We
त्यो
are
वाल
at a quite
काम
a
बसेर
difficult
घुमेर
moment
हाने
for
के सेकेन्ड
SRG
स्किल
because
त्यो
now,
फर्स्ट
at
स्किल
the
बेसिक
very
अट्याक
least,
मात्रै
they're
हान्दा
willing
चाहिँ
to throw bodies for these inhibitors. They don't want to be put in a forced
त्यसको
mistake
मार्किङ मिलेको
scenario,
छैन
but
त्यो
at the same
बेसिक
time, they
अट्याक हान्नु
clearly don't have enough numbers to finish off the correct targets. I think the only person they can really jump on is Sa. Kozen, he's vulnerable for the next 30 seconds, but by the time the load actually spawns, he's going to get
jungle
verified
gap
up again.
3 game में jungle deep हो गया innocent ने कति
I think at this point they just continue to take it slow.
We need
is
you.
there a clock eventually ticking for SRG? Because I still am on the
मैं
board
बोले
that
सेकेन्ड था मैं लिंक खेले भाई मैं लिंक रे हिरा खेले भाई मैं राम्रो गरिदिन्छ होला अलि
comfortable, right? The map isn't. It's not like what we saw in game 1 where Pro had 0 inhibitors. It's going to be hard to fight for a
2000
Lord.
goal
The
छ
possibility
जङ्गलमा
is still slightly
सबै
there.
गोल
It
ग्याप
is. Thank you, Zipper, for pulling it up. Already one step ahead of me here. But yes, 3 items already done, but I don't know how they're going to take advantage of the Sky Piercer. This might have been a little bit of a mistake on Innocent's part, but at the same time, I think it's a lot of faith as well. The rest of the team is like, we woke up at 1 HP. If you had Sky Piercer just a little bit earlier, you could auto-attack them. That would have been a 2-for-2 trade.
Lord Soren अलि गोल
At this
दिन्छ नेक्स्ट
stage,
लॉर्ड सँग त
my
आइटम
hands are
बाइ
up
सक्छ
here.
ले भयो
I'm
नि
praying that SRG can find that angle, but Pro, they have not made this
Yups.
easy.
Look at this position from Yumes right now.
के नि हुँदैन त्यहाँ
They're
बसेर
definitely going to try to fight for this Lord. Look for a cheeky back. They do not know. It's a very clean position. Nobody checked the bush on the side of Pro Esports. He's going to come into the backside. Conceal play. Can he target down? Skies gets the Lord. And a big fist crack.
मेन मोमेन्ट ब्याक गर्ने
Just yet. Saw drops as SRG tries to get away with the steal of the life. The steal of this game. Shuts him down. SRG have flown the table.
Let's go. And they've done it. They've done it. I thought they were going to play for the fight, but unfortunately, they said no. We are going to go straight for Coily. They lock him down. The iframes are good, but it's not over just yet.
Tries to do something, unable to do it. Kozen.
I don't know, Kozen slapped him. Just the
big
backhand to Stormy saying, no, this is not over just yet. We're dominating this game and we're going to try and run away with it.
SRG have just one play.
Nice. तर still not enough है अझै गोली थ्रो अब
They just need Yumes in a beautiful position.
थ्रो गर्नु भएन अब अलिक सजिलो त हुन्छ गेम
Finally able to get a neutral objective under his belt in game number 3, and now they are knocking on the door of Pro Esports.
I can't believe both Cram and Yumes technically survived that. They used everything to try and disrupt Coily from actually taking away this Lord. And SRG knew that if this next Lord falls into Pro Esports' hands, there's a pretty good chance this game ends in the next 4 minutes. But now they've bought themselves some time. The investment has been worth it, and we are getting to the end game. Now that we're at 44k to 47, despite a 2.5k lead for Pro, Sakai's alongside with Innocent have completed all of their core items.
Man, they didn't check that bush. They didn't check that bush.
I've seen that bush be used against teams that I like.
In my own favor, nice fist crack though, does come in. Poison takes a little bit of damage.
Wait, nice. Wait, this guy. What is Poison?
Sakai's able to get the kill.
Fight.
The iframes just aren't enough. Graham falls.
Sakai's no more.
Sakai's with a double under his belt. It's a brawl.
Nice.
Felix is trying to get away. Finds Stormy and ties it up. It's 3 for 2. Pro Esports definitely not out of this.
The push and pull
was
good
Esports
from SRG, but Pro said I got one better. Really unfortunate for Sakai's. He was willing to die to trade. Also, see the replay one more time because this did not work out the way that Pro wanted to. And all of a sudden, with the counter engage coming in from not only Yumes, but forcing Pepe to drop down that Wrath of the Dryads really turned the fight in SRG's favor. But here's the problem. After everybody continuously fought for this long, the big play came down to when Sakai's ended up going down after Bellerin caught him with the taunt before he goes. Then, how do you deal with a Freya? You can't deal with that fully scaled up Freya, man.
Man, I think the whole crowd right now is on the edge of their seats. We are on the edge of our seats.
Everybody's praying. They're praying for their teams, hoping there's a God out there to give them some strength because 7-15 so far, and Pro has not been able to put the final tombstone on SRG.
And everyone still has inhibitors.
Yeah.
Meaning, honestly, this could go another Lord after this. If this is just a clean Lord take where nobody loses too much, this could still go a little bit farther. Pro Esports is going to start it up. Cram does have Black Dragon. We're going to wait for that one. Yumes as well with the fist crack.
Here we go.
Green dots everywhere. Sakai's to the backside. Plays. Wait a second. A lot of damage. Coily gets it once again. And the damage comes down onto Saw. Yumes trying to get away with his life as Cram holds the rest of the team back. Masarapp and Felix won't make it against Sakai's.
Oh my goodness. Cram, despite everything that he absolutely tried, the dashes from Coily, he played it perfectly. I-frame to dodge. Manages to slip past, and even then, it wasn't good enough. If they can hold on for just a little bit longer and protect an inhibitor, maybe there's an opportunity, but I don't think it's going to show right now. Here they come, because Kozin, he still has that Zaman Force.
He does have the Zaman's Force. Pepe's low, though. Crash will come in. Zaman's Force drops. Cram taken out. Coily's going for more. Dashes in, does miss. Has to get out of the base. Taken out. Innocent with the shutdown. Into the backside. Sakai's falls. Poison. The kid's on fire.
He's on fire. Pepe managed to flicker out just in time before the ammunition was about to dome him. Oh my goodness. I don't know who's gonna win this game, but by God, this has been the most fierce competition we've seen so far. Stormy now finishing off that Holy Crystal for the sake of the extra little bit of damage. You notice that every single time both teams interact, so many people walk away with 1 HP, despite Sky Piercers being in play.
I feel like, honestly, with that last Lord push, all Pro really needed to get was an inhibitor out of it. You only had 3 members. You're up against the Clint and a lot of just siege defense potential. The fact that they were able to get the inhibitor is a good start. But like I said, we're going to another Lord. Pro Esports still has inhibitor standing. SRG has gotten to the max item point almost. We're getting very close to tie game material.
All right, Zipper, I need your help. We need to know how many Thunderbelt stacks Yumes actually has. I need to know the numbers here to see how much damage he can technically take. Because so far, Kozin has been absolutely melting. Oh!
Skill play. Saw gets a stun. Cram. It's unable to get away. The Black Dragon comes out, but Kozin still gets him. Sakai's with a beautiful blazing duet finds Saw. But Coily's chasing him down along with Kozin. 1-for-1 Mage for EXP.
Not bad, not bad. And honestly, I think it's more worth it to get rid of Saw. Now they don't have to worry about, you know, something getting blown out of nowhere. And the best part is by the time the Lord actually spawns, Cram is already up and ready to go in comparison to the staggered death timer coming in from Eudora on Saw on the opposite side. So if SRG want to take first position, they absolutely can. But then again, is it playing to your strengths, or do you want to be the ones who push Pro out of the scenario, right? Make him hesitate on the trigger finger.
I feel it. I feel it. I think without Cram, though, it is a little hard to break through. But Sakai's either way, even without Cram, has been doing such a great job at invading that backside and slipping out so quickly. Yumes once again looking for position around this Lord. As Pro Esports play the map, are we going to see Yumes look for that back push again, and will Pro Esports check it?
Oh, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be taking that space just yet. There's no reason to. And I think from Pro's side, they've kind of set a neutral state. Top side is going to eventually turn into a slow push. Same goes for that bottom side as well. With that extra minion here, SRG need to be the ones who reveal themselves first. But if they do, that means Pro is going to start blitzing the Lord. It's a game of cat and mouse. It's about information. It's just corporate espionage at this point.
Corporate espionage, I like it. We did see Coily whittle down to that top side to get the push back. SRG are going to look for the engage. Cram hasn't used the Black Dragon just yet. Yumes there as well. Has an immortality. Can take a lot of shots. Can take the big push. Sakai's looks for an angle. Pro Esports bring the Lord down to 10%. Sakai's hasn't made the engage just yet. He finally comes in, but Coily still gets it. Sorry, Felix backs off. Pro Esports got what they wanted. They're not going to force a fight.
No, they're not going to go any further than this. This was a dangerous position to be in, but now we see the minions pushing into the way. Stormy will respond just in time. But this is where it gets really difficult, because now we're talking about a Lord that also gives you damage reduction. Pro Esports just need to gather the troops and get ready to try and press their advantage into it, which is great for Innocent. But the question is whether or not that damage reduction is going to be more than the true damage Innocent can pump out.
It's a lot of damage from Innocent, I will be honest. Pro Esports are going to take this bottom lane, though. It's going to be a double push from both sides. Sakai's cleared the top. Going to be a little bit helpful, but he's got to get back to the base quickly.
Oh, Innocent, he's running out of ult charges here. He's still... Oh!
A lot of damage under the bot. A lot of damage onto Cram. Cram may be able to get away from this. Black Dragon comes out looking for the re-engage. Masarapp, Felix still stops him. Sakai's going up against Kuzin, but Kuzin always seems to win out. Lord finally does get taken out, but Innocent is collecting heads right now. Headshot after headshot. Nobody can get away with the re-engage. He's done. The shot finally comes in, and Kuzin's got the Zones Force back. Pro Esports up against Stormy. That'll be it against the odds, against the favorites. Pro Esports still looking for that last Canyon minion. They will take game number 3.
What an insane game to kick off day number 2 here. Cambodia finally gets the win. Obviously, both sides are tough competitors, but by God, do they produce some of the best junglers we see in the internationals. There's no way to be disappointed with that game. I think even SRG knows. It's like, guys, Hirara, they outplayed us. That's really what it boiled down to. They outplayed us this time.
Definitely the best series we've seen thus far in these groups, and they don't call Group B the group of death for nothing. If this is just how this is going to start the day, I'm excited for what we got to see next. Pro Esports.
That was mad respect there. This game was beautiful to watch, so messy, but at the same time, it leaves you just at the edge of your seats. I can only imagine that SRG are gonna go back to that drawing board to figure out, man, this red side, something about it, something's different. They adapted a little too fast than what we were expecting here in game number 2, but come down to game number 3, when push comes to shove, Pro Esports, they don't back down.
Yeah, they were ready every single time. Coily and Puzon. God.
They were heated up.
They were. So many plays there. Even that last Lord push with the re-engage, they could have decided to call it off. They could have said, let's go one more Lord. Let's wait a little bit longer, but no, Coily jumps back in with a sliver of health. Amazing gameplay, amazing micro, and honestly good macro as well from the team.
From both sides, really. I mean, even SRG understood with 2 slow pushing waves, that Lord is going to get blitzed down faster than they have to worry about the inhibitors, all the outplay. Beautiful stuff here, right? This is where it happens. They miss the timing. The item swap comes through, iframe, dash, dead. So good.
And it buys enough time for Kuzin to get that Zamon's Force, re-engage, make sure that in the end, they will go down. I love it.
They are so good. We're going to be throwing it over to our winners of this matchup. Of course, Milos, please take it away.
Thank you very much, my friends. We have the man of the hour here with us, Sa victorious. What a massive matchup against Selangor Red Giants. We have to talk about this for a second. That game 3 was super tight. Came right away to the late game. Talk to me about how you kind of all closed it up and finished the game.
បាទអញ្ចឹង game 3 គឺស្មើគ្នាមែនទែនប៉ុន្តែធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចដើម្បីបញ្ចប់ហើយឈ្នះគេថ្ងៃនេះ
ពួកគាត់ GOAT ពួកគាត់ក៏ធ្លាប់ជា champion ដែរអញ្ចឹងពេលលេងមួយគាត់វាអត់ easy game ទេទៅវាចាស់ខ្ញុំគ្រាន់តែ talk មួយ teammate ខ្ញុំហើយលេងមុនពួកគាត់ទៅធ្វើឲ្យយើងយកឈ្នះបាន
So because they're former champion, we knew that this would be a hard match, but I talked with my team and we worked together to get this win.
I mean, it looked incredible. I want to ask you more technical questions in this. Talk to me.
speed. As we look at the replay here from STC, this pressure was around that purple buff. Pagu made his way around, but crashed